Welcome, everybody. This is The Real Deal with me, Larry, Lawton, and Benz.
What's up?
How you guys doing out there? We got a very, very big show today because there's going to be a lot of information. Before we do the news, I just want to give a little hint. Stay tuned. Right after the news, we're going to be giving a whole update on our giveaway. We're giving away something really, really good for our 100th episode, which is next month in August, and you're going to all qualify for it, and we're going to tell you what to do and how that's going to work and what we're giving away. Then you got to stay tuned to our websites and everything else because we're going to have rules and everything up on there as well. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, we're going to get right things to the news. My brother is off today. He's not feeling that well, so he stayed home, and we're going to be doing the news, Benz and I, and it's going to be a quick news. And after the news, we are going to be talking about the giveaway and a couple other things. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me. Let's rock.
Let's rock this town. Okay, let's go right into the news. Let's go jump into the world news. And I'm going to blow through this, guys, because I hate the fucking news. All right. I don't watch the news anymore. You notice that, though, right?
Yeah,
I really don't.
Too.
I mean, it's... I hate negativity, and that's what it is. But we got to give people a little bit of what it is. Okay, to Ukraine. Ukraine continues to battle. This is now, they're actually going to have a holiday this week, and they're going to celebrate it. They're going to actually celebrate it during the war and everything else. And they're not quitting. I got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, I really do.
Good for them. I mean,
you know what? Yeah, I mean, this is your own home. This is your own country. I can imagine if somebody came to this country and did that, we'd fight. Right, fight to the end. There's no question.
We
about
would
it.
have. I'm telling you, if anybody wants to fucking come take over this country on this land, and they show up in Texas or anywhere in the South, they're making a big mistake. Start with California. They ain't got no guns.
Yeah, or New York. Or New York.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, only the criminals got the guns.
Right, exactly. Which could be bad news for those fuckers too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Those are the guys that are going to fucking shoot you too.
Right.
So, okay, so Ukraine is starting, and I give them a lot of, they're celebrating a holiday too. Now, Myanmar.
Are we saying that right? I don't know. Myanmar.
Well, we're going to figure it out. Executes activists and an XMP. Now, they haven't did this in like 2 decades. They haven't did anything like this, an execution. Around the world, executions and the death penalty is really, really way down. Not only is it way down, most of the world doesn't believe in the death penalty, actually. There's only 50 countries that do out of the 200, and even them, most of them haven't did anything in like decades and stuff, and now one has. So I look at that and I said, wow, where's the United States in all this? We're way behind, and that's, again, I'm going to get into this a little bit later. We're going to talk about the people talking about the United States and how, we got the balls in this country to talk about another country's human rights. Pisses me off. It really does.
I know. When we have our own problems.
Every country has a problem. Trust me, every country. There's no perfect countries, obviously.
Well, there's no perfect people, and so there's no perfect countries.
Absolutely. I did the Constitution, as a video the other day, and I love history, you know that. So I did the Constitution, and a lot of people liked it because it was an education. Some people said, oh, man, they should play this in high schools and stuff.
What, the video itself?
Yeah, that's what they actually said, some people. But
how many F-bombs did you drop in the video?
Not as many as I thought. It's just because there's not. What do you say? There's a few. I'm sure there's always a fucking few. But anyway, all right. Still on world news. The Pope Francis, he visits Canada and asks for forgiveness for the indigenous atrocities. Let me tell you what happened. I saw this piece on 60 Minutes, and it was crazy. What the Catholic Church did to the indigenous people, the Indians, in Canada, was a disgrace, and they should all be held accountable. They were taking kids out of their families, taking them away, indoctrinating them into these schools, Catholic schools, taking their names away, taking everything away. And obviously, then they didn't even call the families when they died and stuff. It's some sick shit. And the Pope should be apologizing. I mean, obviously the Pope didn't do it, but
he wasn't around.
Yeah, no, he was. No, he was around. I mean, this only happened in the 40s.
No shit.
This is bad shit. There's people he interviewed about this. They're still around.
See, I have no idea what he's apologizing for. To be honest with you. Well, now I do because you told me.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Again, I'm not the religious person here. You know that. I don't believe in a lot of it because of that. Because whenever you got any kind of religion, anything to try to control people, people are going to maneuver it whatever way they want. They do it with the Bible. They do it with the Quran. They do it with the Torah. They do it with everything. You know that. All of a sudden, one word, the or something hits into it changes the whole fucking context of a sentence. I used to debate the Bible with a lot of people, and it says, the Bible on the first fucking page is fucking wrong. On the seventh day or sixth day, God created light and saw that it was good. He's fucking God. What did he have to see anything for? He couldn't see.
What do you mean he couldn't see?
On this whatever day he created light.
Yeah.
And he saw that it was good.
I think it was the fourth or fifth day.
Whatever the fuck day it was.
Okay.
My point is, he's God. He knows it's good. He just fucking created it. Why does he have to see it was good?
Well, that's the thing. That's the English translation. You got to remember it wasn't written that way.
Exactly. Right. That's my, I go that all the time. I don't care what story you hear, what it is. It's not the same story of the original story. That's just
well,
nature.
The original story was from mouth to mouth. It had nothing to do with being written. And actually, a lot of people don't know this, but the original version of the Bible was just passed on through generations. It was never written down. It wasn't written down until modern times.
Well, modern time, no. I think it's 600 after AD. 600 AD after Christ. BC is before Christ.
In religious terms and when
that's nothing.
That's what I'm saying,
absolutely,
right?
yeah. But it's just I don't know. I'm over it because I don't like to be controlled by governments or religions or anything. And I always believe a lot of these organizations and people, even organizations, I'm not one to be controlled very easily. I mean, listen, I got my own mind. I'm going to live on this earth for a fucking short period of time. I'm going to do what the fuck I want. Obviously,
I don't disagree with that.
And anybody who watched that one podcast a little bit ago,
the last episode,
yeah, oh my god, pretty fucked up. But okay, I mean, we did all right.
That's all he's gonna say about it. All right, let's move.
Well, no, we're gonna keep moving because we're on the news.
All right.
Okay, let's check this one out.
This one's fucked up.
This is right. A chess robot grabs and breaks a finger of a 7-year-old kid in an opponent after mistaking it for a chess piece. Think of that. These robots playing and they're moving the chess pieces.
And he thinks the little kid's finger, who I guess is on the table like this.
I'm assuming, and he broke the kid's finger.
Fucked up.
How do you get traumatized from playing chess?
You just found it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way I can think about. I was a good chess player, too. I was a pretty good chess player.
Were you?
Yeah,
I still am. I like to play.
I played in prison. I used to see some great guys in prison play. I'm unbelievable.
I'm sure. You got nothing but time.
Yeah, and, they read and they do stuff, but, we played for a lot, and then a lot of certain games we played. I haven't played chess, but I played with a couple of our friends down in Cancun.
How'd it go?
I wiped them out so bad it was a disgrace. Actually, Laura was playing with somebody, and then she goes, Larry, I go, Laura, you want me to take care of this? 4 moves later, I checkmated John. And it was like, he was like, fucking that's not right.
You notice chess like any other game, but more so in chess. When you're standing above somebody's shoulder, you know the moves so much better than when you're sitting down.
Yeah, well, not
It's like watching football on TV. You always know what they should have done.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's a backseat driver, or a Monday morning quarterback, obviously. Right. So now that was the world news, and we're going to get into the U.S. news. Listen to this. 4 inmates escaped and get caught just hours after. But listen, it's a minimum security prison in Tennessee, and all they did was breach an exterior door. Minimum security means nothing to me. I mean, obviously, they're not putting people.
I've talked to people in minimum security. The idea is like summer camp.
Well, that's a camp. That's a camp. Then they have a low, and I don't know if this is a low. This wasn't a camp because they could walk right out. This is, they said they breached a door. So they were locked in some way.
Right.
A camp, they're not locked in. They could just walk away. They got a fucking imaginary line.
So this is like a fire door or something.
Yeah, something like that. They had probably locked, and somehow they breached that door.
They got caught in an hour anyway, idiots.
People always, a lot of people don't plan things out. Listen, robbers, the same thing. They'll plan a perfect robbery, but they don't plan how to get rid of the jewelry. Or they don't plan that.
Did you?
Of course.
You knew where the jewelry was going before you put hands on it.
Absolutely. Everything I ever robbed, I knew where it was going. I used to teach that. Don't rob anything you can't get rid of. I was offered to rob millions of dollars in Rembrandts and Picassos and Mona Lisas, all of these $1 million paintings. This was in the Miami Convention Center. And I had one of my guards
visiting here with those paintings?
Yeah, that was a big thing in the convention center. Well, one of the guards that used to work for me when I had a company called me. He said, Larry, I'm the guard. I'm the head guy. You want these things? I said, hold on. I said, I'll call you back. I made a bunch of calls to New York. I couldn't get 3 cents on a dollar. So, I mean, you can't get money. It's not worth it. You're not going to get anything from it.
And you got to get rid of it quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So,
what are you going to put it in my house? What do I give a fuck?
I mean, be a nice painting at the house.
Yeah, everybody will believe that in my Palm Bay house.
Right. They'll be like, that's real.
Yeah, $10 million painting in Palm Bay house. Okay. But anyway, that was just a breach. So those guys, they escaped and they were caught right away.
They were caught within hours, right?
Within hours. They didn't have anything. They probably just saw a door that maybe was cracked or breached or something, or a way to get out one other time. And then, let's get out. Real rocket scientists in that jail. So now, listen to this.
This is a funny one,
This is a Pennsylvania man was being strangled by his 15-foot snake before the police shot the snake in the head.
He passed out. He was out.
The guy actually suffered cardiac arrest, but you're right, he was unconscious. The snake actually slithered away, but then died from the shot. They shot the thing in the head.
And it took it a while to die.
That's
just how snakes do.
Snakes are tough, motherfucker.
Have you ever cut a head off a snake? The head and the body keep moving for a little while.
Yeah, that's like a chicken. It's like
chickens do that.
Yeah, well, they'll start running around with no head.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they do that. But is that amazing? First of all, who wants a fucking snake?
I don't get it, but people really love their snakes. At the car meet the other day, two individuals that didn't come together.
Here. Why did you go to a car meet with a Toyota? What do you got now?
Civic.
A Civic, whatever it is now.
It's, I like to go see other people's nice cars.
Okay. You went from that great car to, I'm going to go to the car meet with a loner.
It is what it is. It's A-spec, though, so it's got some balls to it. Just kidding. It's a piece of shit. Anyway, but here's the thing. I showed up at the meet, and there was two people individually that didn't come together. Usually the snake people, you see them together, but they didn't come together, and they had snakes. And when I was like, who the fuck wants to own a snake? They're like, oh, this is my baby.
That's a cold-blooded animal. So a snake is a cold-blooded animal. So they don't feel. It's not like you got your dog, your cat. I love my cats. I love my cat.
A snake don't give a fuck. Give me a rat once a week and shut the fuck up the rest of the time.
Yeah, they don't give a... Oh, what do you think? They're coming to you? Yeah, they're going to come and strangle you. That's what the fuck he's going to do.
That's what happened to that fucking guy.
Exactly.
But hey, listen, if that makes you feel good petting a snake or whatever it is, you do you. I don't want to judge you.
Oh, it's crazy, really.
People are into it.
Listen, like you said, I don't judge anybody on anything. And but we're just giving the news. That's all we're doing. And that, of course,
don't get choked by your...
You know what I really thought it would be? Florida. Because most of the crazy shit...
It's not the Pennsylvania man. Hey, did you notice the way I wrote it? I put PA man first.
Yes.
It's because I wanted to take away from the Florida man. Usually the crazy shit happens in Florida.
Florida.
There's no doubt about it.
Always. You hear all the late night talk show hosts always talk about
Florida man.
Yeah, surprise, Florida man. Okay, another thing. This is a sad thing. This one's sad.
We kind of went all over the place.
Yeah,
with the news, but that's the news for you,
man. That's the news. The parents, 2 parents, and a 6-year-old daughter were shot dead in a campground in Iowa from an apparent homicide, obviously. The 4th person was found dead with a self-inflicted a gunshot. So they probably killed him and then killed themselves.
Now, here's the sad part.
Here's really sad. The 9-year-old son, the brother of the little one, was alive. He's not injured. So now that kid has no family, and at 9, he knows. At 9 years old, he knows.
And who knows how he escaped it?
Yeah, just, you hear some crazy, you hear some crazy shit, how they lay in, like they're dead and stuff like that. This is sad. This is going to fuck this kid up for a while. I hope they get this kid the help. I hope he has family, other family. I can't even imagine. It's like the school shootings. Just same thing to me, this thing is. Because how do you expect to go camp and have a good time and then people get killed like that? That's just fucked up. Our world is really pretty fucked up if you really want to think about it. Mm-hmm. So, okay, now let's jump on to fires. There's a rapidly growing oak fires in the Gulf. The homes, they're engulfing a bunch of homes in Yosemite National Park, burning, listen to this, 16,000 acres. That's a lot of fucking acres.
That is.
That's not like, 10-acre farm. Like I'm looking at a 10-acre piece of property, 20-acre piece of property.
Going to be a farmer.
Yeah. You'll see me as a farmer, right?
This is in California, right?
Yeah, this is in California. Yeah, you're going to see me, but you know how I'm a farm? Teresa, get the hoe.
Get the hoe.
Who you think I'm gonna farm?
Teresa, get the hoe.
Now listen to this for the state news. You like that one, didn't you?
That's my fit. What do you think?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good, right? You didn't get that one, huh?
Teresa, get
now listen to this. We all know who Ghislaine Maxwell, who was obviously we all know the girl who was convicted with the guy who killed himself in jail, Jeffrey Dahmer. No, Jeffrey Epstein.
And he did not kill himself. Come on now.
Oh, he killed himself. No, he didn't kill himself.
Well,
he was murdered.
They said he killed himself. Right. What actually happened?
I think he got murdered.
Oh, 100%. And I think she's about to kill herself too.
Well, now she was just transferred to a low security prison in Florida. My bet, and they didn't say it, it's Coleman, because Coleman has a woman low. I actually been there. I spoke in there. I was a guest speaker in there.
Yeah.
And it was pretty wild. All these fucking crazy bros. They all love me, and they're looking. I want to fuck him. Of course. I mean, I was looking the same way.
It's dry. Oh fuck. It's dry season over there.
Oh my God. No, it's not. They got.
Here's the thing. Women have it better than we do. Well, you're going to disagree with me, so I'm going to choose not to go into that conversation with you.
Yeah, you
see where I'm going? You see, and you already know this is a mistake for me.
Absolutely.
There's no way for me to win this conversation.
None, because no.
The listeners, they're like, just do it.
Nah, go ahead, do it then.
All right. I think women in prison eating each other out and stuffing random shit in each other's pussy, I think they have it better than guys sucking each other's dick off.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like.
Now, if you ask a guy who sucks dick and everything else and has great time and does that and anal sex and everything, I disagree.
I think all women are a tad bit lesbian.
I think all men are a tad bit whatever, bisexual.
Well, you didn't say gay though.
No, I didn't say gay. I think they really are. I mean, that's normal.
I don't think that's.
I don't look into it deep. Yes, I do. Yeah, if you're not, you're the one out of the 100. But
is what you're saying 1 in 100?
No, I think 80%.
80%.
I really mean that. And then people think, what do you mean?
I'm going to agree with that. Let's do sports.
Let's move sports. Okay, let's go to the PGA Golf first. PGA Golf, Tony Finau won the 3M Open, which was in Iowa City, Iowa. I actually watched that, and I don't watch the PGA anymore. But Tony Finau is just a humble guy, come from no upbringing.
You're just a golf junkie. I know you wanted to watch it.
I am a golf junkie, but he's a good guy, and I was glad to see him win. He almost choked it down the end too, but he shot a good round at the end and he won it, and I was really happy to see that. I'm gonna get into the big one I hate at the end, which is fucking LIV Golf, but we're gonna get into that one. Also, the NFL is coming back in 45 days from today, guys.
Woo!
Everybody,
I wish I had that. I need that. I need that button.
You have something.
I have something.
But he just don't know which they are.
There you go. There you go. Applause.
There you go. We got NFL coming back. Everybody loves it. Come on. We have the Sundays at Gary's. We have things.
Just football in general. I'm in like a bunch of fantasy leagues, so I love that. Interaction on a different level. You're in one of my leagues, right?
Yeah, I'm in the one that...
you did okay last year.
No, I lost money. But
you lost money, but you know what you do? You're the annoying people on the league that are always good until the fucking 90th minute. You don't know what that is because you're not a soccer fan, but a 90th minute is basically...
I know what 90 minutes is in soccer.
Listen, it's not like I know a whole lot about soccer either, but I'll tell you this.
Don't go to sports with me like that.
I won't. I mean, here's
it's like me going to tech with you. It's not a good move.
Maybe it would be, though. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I'm so excited for the NFL. All I'm going to say is go Birds. There's no better team in the NFL than the Eagles. And we can move on. Now,
now we're going to move on, and I like what you put up there. I did notice it already because I do read beforehand. Benz puts up there.
I wanted to see if he'd read it.
Listen, I read. I'm a reader. You know that.
Yeah.
So baseball is past the All-Star break, so we're going into the home stretch, we call it. And obviously put up there, fuck the Yankees.
Fuck the Yankees.
But truth of the matter is the Yankees do not have the best record in baseball anymore. The Dodgers do.
Hell yeah.
By 1 percentage point. The Yankees have a 680 percentage, and the Dodgers got 681.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the Mets are up there at 614 or something like that. So obviously the Yankees
I've heard you say the Yankees having the best record. I heard you say that a million times. You can't say it anymore. Now you can say they used to be, and now I'll tell you who is.
Well, how's this? They got the best record in the American League.
There you go.
So I can do that. But it's not fuck the Yankees. We're not going to get. We're still into sports, so I gotta bring up
the LIV.
I gotta bring up my LIV Golf, and I'm going to say it every show. I really believe Jay Monahan of the commissioner of the PGA should be fired, or he should resign for invoking the 9/11 survivors to write to the players and say, oh, you shouldn't go because Saudi Arabia is such a bad country. That was a low blow. I think he misstepped his authority or whatever he did.
He's freaking out, man.
Yeah, he should.
He's making mistakes because he's not thinking straight. He sees the writing on the wall, just like you. Here's the thing: you're an old school golf fan, and you've been what? Who's that? Oh, it's Garfield, baby.
Oh, look at this! Right there in the news, we got our man Garfield right here.
Where's my effects at?
Garfield. Oh, what do you say,
actually
Garfield?
just talking about that before.
He knows what to do. Go ahead, Garfield. You go in the drawer.
What up, man?
What are you doing, kiddo? I loaded the refrigerator up for him. He comes in here. Oh, I got the chicken. Thank you. Yes,
he left it for you the other day.
Yeah. I know. You know what I told him? Tell those fuckers don't eat my fucking chicken.
I was so close to eating it. It looked so good.
Oh my!
I was so close to eating it, but Dave protected it for you.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. Probably nothing in there. I didn't even look. So we got anybody who doesn't know and watches this show or doesn't jumps in. We got Garfield.
Garfield the mailman.
How come you sound so low energy today, man?
So what?
Sounds kind of low energy.
Low energy.
It's low energy. Are you saying how come you're not yelling and going crazy? Because we were doing the news is depressing.
Garfield, watch this. Let me give you something.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey, wow. Garfield likes that, huh?
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so, and watch this, Garfield. Whoa, this is big.
That just washed out the video.
Yeah, we're showing Garfield the real deal. We are really close to the ending of the show, the studio. We got to get.
The ending of the studio. The show, however, just started.
Yeah, no, we have to get the sound stuff up, Benz. Got to get the sound stuff up now.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
I'm ready when you are. We already have it, right?
Yeah, I got some. Yeah. Garfield.
Pick it up, man.
Take care. All right, pick it up. Wow. I got the mailman.
Who's the real producer, baby?
Right. I got the mailman telling me I'm low energy.
He's right. You got to fucking bring it up, Larry.
Most mailmen like walk at like a turtle's pace.
Hey, hold on. I want to bring it back to LIV Golf real quick.
Oh, I'm going back to LIV.
I'm going from a non-fan view, right?
Okay.
I'm not an old school golf fan. I haven't you know what? If anything, you talking about it on this show has gotten me paying attention to it when it's on TV than ever before. So I like playing, but I'm not much into the sport aspect of golf.
Okay.
I don't watch it. I don't know the names.
And I watch every shot.
And I know you do. But I want to say something. You, being as into golf as much as you are, even when you couldn't play because of your back for as long as you still always followed it. You always talked about it at lunch. You'd get into heated, I want to call them arguments about it. And here's the thing. If you are saying fuck the PGA and LIV is the future, that's why he's making mistakes. That's why he's sending letters to the families of the people who died in 9/11. That's why he's basically rattling the fucking chain. And the reason he's doing it is because he's scared, man. If he's losing you, the diehard golf fan, losing you, he's doing everything in his power to bring you back. Unfortunately, he's making mistakes, and now you can see that for what it is.
Not only mistakes.
That's my piece on it, really.
Yeah, it's a good piece because you're right. I am if you lose the ultimate fan, the guy who loves the game more than anything. Lose the regular fan who gets mad, I get. But to lose the guy that just lives and breathes golf. And to watch what he did, because I'm a players fan. I mean, I look out for the players. I mean, the PGA, what has happened with this LIV Golf is they really exposed the PGA for how greedy they are and how they're not giving the players what they deserve. And let me give you just one little hint. People say, what do you mean? In LIV Golf, last year, the PGA top earner in all of the PGA made $7.7 million. The top earner, not even top earner, Steph Curry, made $40 million.
I saw the $40 million. I saw that on the headlines.
Right. Now, you're talking about a sport that's got the mega sponsors, Cadillac and Payne Weber and all the mega TV contracts.
They could afford to pay.
They could afford to pay. And their top earner. Now, everyone says, oh, they make endorsements. Well, so does Steph Curry.
Right.
That $40 million has nothing to do with Steph Curry's $40 million.
So he's making his 40-plus endorsement.
Absolutely. LeBron James. I think it's going down to the top, the 100th player in the NBA or whatever it is in one of these leagues makes more than the best player in the PGA. Now you bring that down into numbers. It reminds me of bowling. Bowling, it was, nobody gave a shit about bowling because they didn't pay him. Now, I'm not saying $1 million is not a lot of money. We all know that it's a lot of money. And I'm not saying
$7 million is a lot of money.
And I'm not, well, I'm talking about just like $1 million. When I'm not talking about this in a way to say, oh, I feel bad for them or something. They're not getting what they earn or what they can. Here's what got me mad. They didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. All they wanted to do was go play in those events. And now the PGA doesn't want them to go to play in these events because they're not making any money. They're going to say, oh, because we're going to, weaken the field in this event.
They want to control the players.
Yes, but here's the problem. Here's the argument against that. Oh, nobody's going to go watch the 3M Open that Tony Finau won. The biggest players in the world aren't playing them anyway. They're playing the majors. They're playing the Arnold Palmer. They're playing the Jack Nicklaus Memorial. They're playing the HCC events. They're playing the big events anyway. And the LIV Golf is not pushing. LIV is not playing against a major. LIV is not playing against a World Golf Tournament. They're not playing against Jack Nicklaus's Memorial Tournament or Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Tournament. So they have no grounds to say because they're not making money. And they can't control it.
Right.
This Jay Monahan, and I mean this, I don't think this is going to get fixed until Jay Monahan, he should resign. He should.
What is his position?
He's the commissioner.
Pay? What does it pay?
Oh, I don't know what. I just found this out. He doesn't get paid from the PGA. He gets paid from the sponsors. So that's what it is.
Well, that's why they're not giving the players the money from the sponsors.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, listen, they're paying. The PGA is a very wealthy organization. And that now
of course they're wealthy. They're not paying the athletes.
Listen, they're trying to change. They're trying to change their ways by what they're doing. The PGA is they're going to a couple events that are going to be 3 days, like the LIV. They're doing a couple. They're trying to increase the purses. But see, the LIV is even changing now. They got team golf. They're doing it so it's so fan friendly. You know who just left? David Ferrity. David Ferrity had a big announcer just quit. Charles Barkley is going to LIV. I mean, people are saying, fuck you, PGA. You're not the all fucking God in this fucking thing. LIV is showing.
Money,
I don't want to
money talks.
Exactly. But I don't want to hear, oh, because of Saudi Arabia. That's the biggest wasted, stupidest excuse you can. If you had another excuse and told me, hey, listen, we couldn't do this or that or whatever. We couldn't donate more money to certain people. Come up with a better excuse than fucking, oh, it's because Saudi Arabia is fucking against the fucking, human rights. Because the PGA in February had a tournament in Saudi Arabia.
The federal government is against human rights.
Joe Biden is fist fucking bumping the prince.
Yo, he dapped
He dapped him. So how are you telling me how fucking bad this Saudi Arabia? Listen, every single country. They play in Dubai. They have the Dubai, big tournaments in Dubai. Well, Dubai has Sharia law. What, is that against human rights? Well, we think it is, but hey, who are we to fucking say? Our prison system is against human rights. I mean, the way we treat people in this country who do their time and don't have their rights back and can't get a job and they keep that felony on their record. I got an email from somebody who says, Larry, you're 100% right what you're talking about. He goes, because I'm a felon. I've been great for 7 years. Will this ever leave me? He can't get an apartment. He can't get, he has to pay more double. I had to pay double rent when I went to Fort Lauderdale just because I'm a felon.
Right.
Even though I'm an honorary police officer, recognized on the floor of the United States Congress, I had to pay double in rent because I'm a felon. There's people who can't get loans, can't get SB loans, can't get into certain schools, can't get a certain VA stuff.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, and it's sad.
Right.
It really is sad that we are not fixing that, and it could be fixed so easily. But the prison systems gets the money. The point
is, everybody's got dirty money. I don't care where you're from and what your religious beliefs are as a country. Everybody's got dirty money. Just because we don't agree with the way they do business, this is their business to worry about. Absolutely.
We cannot go with that. That's like saying,
if you do a vote in Saudi Arabia and see how many of the people wanted Sharia law, you would be fucking surprised that 90+% of them would say yes.
Yes. That's the way they grew up. We cannot go to other countries and try to. We tried that.
Tried that. We every so often we do it. We like to impose our freedom on countries even when they don't want them.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, they had a billionaire, guy's worth the most money in China, and they had him on TV. He goes, listen, stop about communism and freedom. He goes, I'm a billionaire. He goes, we do things so much quicker because we don't have the headaches of Congress. You guys in America can't get anything done. You guys argue with each other, nothing gets done. At least they build cities in freaking China in 6 months. The airports, the infrastructure is so much better than the United States. And you could call it, well, they're doing this. They're keeping these people, they're giving them slave wages. Listen, we do a lot of that shit too. Don't even go there. I mean,
I could find something wrong with every country, with every system. Human rights have been an issue since humans have been around. And here we are today. Not any better or less. Here's the thing. Are we better as far as, you got the freedom to go outside and take a shit on the street? You don't have that freedom.
No.
You can't.
No.
Right?
You'll be arrested.
So freedom is kind of like this term that we use, but it's not necessarily freedom.
100%.
You're not free to speed or drive whatever you want in your car. You're not free to fucking take the medicine that you want. You're not free to eat the food that you want. You're not free to bring food from other countries into this country. Think about it.
Think about that. You're not even free. You can't even go in your car without having to wear a belt around you. I mean, that's not a freedom.
And there's a percentage of accidents where they proved it that seatbelts can actually kill you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's the thing. You've heard about it, right?
You heard about it?
Oh, yeah. I was in recovery for years, so I've seen it.
So you've seen people who've had an accident and like the seatbelt actually hurt them? Choked them, yeah. I've heard of it.
It's 50-50. I mean, it's just like...
I don't know if it's
50-50. It's more like 90-10.
I'm not going to talk about it. It's probably 90-10 or more than that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Every situation is
But
different.
my point is, get back to the choice making.
No, there is no choice making.
You get a ticket.
Government makes a choice for you.
Yeah, and so we're not as free as people think. And I always say, we're free and we're this.
And so toting the money is not coming from the best, most free, most, that blood money. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, well,
I read that. Blood money. I just don't see the blood.
Listen, they got you. They tried this with diamonds, with blood diamonds. It didn't mean shit. Everybody still fucking wants diamonds.
I got to be honest with you though. Have you heard of you were talking about atrocities?
Of course,
you've heard what those people go through to get those diamonds. But that's the only way they make money. They don't have another skill or another available job. Just like the coal miners here in the United States.
I was just gonna go there.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we can start nitpicking on anything and pick it up, and it's all bullshit. It's, we need to fucking step back and let common sense. I'm a big common sense believer in this country. All of our laws should be common sense. They have laws in this country that you can't get a blowjob. You can't fuck somebody in the ass. You can't do this.
But we don't
That's bullshit.
We don't enforce those laws.
It's not about enforcing. They're on the books. Somebody can enforce it. They can enforce it. They don't like you. Watch what happens.
Right. You're just giving them a way to get you if they do want to.
Absolutely. And it's not true freedoms. We all know that.
Imagine going to court for getting a blowjob in the car.
I went to fucking the hole for fucking jerking off.
So you can't imagine.
I sure can fucking imagine. Think of that.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do when they want you, they're going to get you and they're going to fuck with you.
When you were out and you were already free and you were talking about the experiences you've had and you had mentioned this, the whole lawsuit that you had because they wouldn't let you jerk off.
You can read it. Anybody can Google it.
Right. I know people, you know who I'm talking about. We're not going to bring up any names here, who were against it and told you to shut up. Told you, don't tell that story. I know somebody specific. I just don't want to use his name. But you talked about it with Judge Jessica when she was here.
But I don't know who told me I couldn't talk about it.
I'll remind you after the show.
Remind me after the show.
Yeah, I will. So there was somebody specific who was also a speaker, and you were a speaker, and they heard you say your story multiple times, and you had highlighted this story as something that you did and won, and it's a freedom issue. And yeah, I know you're racking your brain.
My
trying
fucking
to brain
is going racked, man.
I'll tell you who it is, but there's a specific reason I don't want to bring it up on air.
Okay. All right. You'll tell me. Everybody's going to be emailing now and say, who is
See, here's the thing. Is
he in the mafia?
He's not in the mafia.
Oh,
if he was in the mafia, I may have said it.
Yeah.
Might as well be mafia, though.
I'm mafia. Obviously, I look at things, and I'm the most laid back. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't.
It's true.
I don't believe people should. You want rights. That's why I'm a libertarian, and it's as much as you can be. Even that, everything is fucked up. I think we need the government. I'm not against government. I'm not against prisons. We need stuff, but we got to have more common sense in this approach. And there has to be checks and balances, especially in the court systems, when you get a fucking rogue judge or you get somebody that these people are losing their lives. Kamala Harris sickens me. sickens me what she did to the people in California with the prisoners and with knowing, stopping people who DNA proved that they were wrong. That you know what she said, that why they stay in prison? Because we need them as firefighters at $3 an hour.
Oh, good.
How do you know that? Am I right, Jason? Is that crazy? It's fucking nuts. And I look at that and I say, come on, man. I just pulled the Biden.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I said? I just pulled the Biden. Come on, man. But anyway, we're gonna go. Obviously,
but I just want to say we were tying this up because of the golf thing, the LIV Golf, right? The money, where it comes from, doesn't matter if it supports the athletes. And in a sense, there's no way that you can prove that their money is any dirtier than our money. And that's it. I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're saying.
Absolutely. Because trust me, Iran-Contra affair and a whole bunch of other shit this country has done.
Right.
That, and we go to Panama and make Noriega a drug dealer.
Right.
I think they should have came here and made Reagan a drug dealer and flew here with some jets.
So next time the IRS sends you a refund, don't take it. It's dirty money.
Absolutely. Everybody out there, don't take it. Anyway, last thing on the weather. I'm just going to make the weather real quick. It's hot as fuck.
It is.
It's fucking July, and in Florida, it's hot. But it's hot
Records
everywhere.
all over the world.
It's hot everywhere.
Do you see what's happening in the UK, in London?
Yes, they went on this special red alert.
And it's funny because that's the weather we get here on a daily basis.
It's crazy.
They're complaining about like 95-degree weather.
Wow, 95. Well, I'll be out in a fucking jacket. My mother would wear a jacket.
Sure, somebody's going to email me and tell me I was wrong on the number, but that's all right.
That's okay. That's all right. All right, the news is over. We're going to go into a couple of things right now. This one is great. I want everybody out there to listen and listen good, because here's the giveaway. We are coming up on our 100th show.
What?
Isn't it crazy?
I can't believe it.
August 27th will be our 100th show on the podcast that we started. It's 100 shows. It's actually going to be a year, right? Almost 2 weeks under a year, I think, right? Because it's 52 weeks in a year.
Right, exactly. So here's the thing. The 100th episode is going to be before our 1 year. However, we're on the 100th episode is when we're going to really announce this, and we're going to give you what you can do in order to win this giveaway, which we're going to announce right now.
Right. We're not going to tell you how to do it, but I want you to pay attention. And I really want
Here's what you can win, essentially.
You can win. We're giving a 3-day cruise with me and our team. We're all going to be going on a cruise, and it's a 3-day cruise on a ship. And it's going to be
going to the Bahamas.
And going to the Bahamas, a balcony room and all works. Airfare for two.
Included
in this thing. And transportation from the airport and everything else back and forth. You have to be a U.S. resident
and
with a valid passport,
right,
and 21. Because there's some legal stuff we had overseas. But
now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what if I'm not 21, or what if I'm not a U.S. resident? Well, we've got something for you.
We got something real good for you. And I got to say, Benz and Jason and them picked this up. This is a good gift. So even if you didn't want to go on a cruise.
Yeah, you could choose one or the other.
You could choose the other. Or you're getting a 2022 MacBook Air M2 Plus with extras.
Yep.
Extras are going to be like a merch and books and signed stuff and stuff. But it's the
like
brand new MacBook.
Yeah, it's the one that just came out. It came out last week.
It came out, and you can get that. So that's a hell of a gift. And we're going to give you what you have to do next to couple of shows. We're going to start. It's going to be something where you have to go on Instagram and you have to do something. Or
yeah, we'll figure out something. It's not going to be super hard. Everybody's going to be eligible.
No.
It's just a couple of little things you have to do just to be eligible.
Right, to get an entry. No,
an
entry into the drawing.
Right.
And what we're going to do after that is then we're going to announce it here, and we're going to call them on the phone, and we're going to have a good time with that, and they're going to win. Hey, listen, if they want to come. Now, listen, when we're doing this cruise, we're going to announce it to everybody anyway. If anybody wants to come and pay their own way for the cruise, it's out of Port Canaveral, Florida, and it's going to the Bahamas. And it's going to go to they have a Coco Cay, they have their own island.
The entire Larry Lawton team's going, so you'll get to go with us. You'll get to have dinner with us. You'll get to party with us. It's going to be a good time.
And we're going to party.
Now, we've been on cruises together, so we know how crazy they can get. So you guys, this is a cruise, but it's not your average cruise.
No.
We're there.
We're going to take over this ship.
We did it last time.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people are going to come, but people have been asking. So they could start. Now, the cruise, I'll let you know now so you can start looking it up, is going to be October 7th through the 10th. which is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back Monday, and you leave Friday at about 11 o'clock. You get on the ship. It goes out about 4. You're already half in the bag by then. And then you're going to go on the ship for the 3 days, and you get off about 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning on Friday. So you got the whole Monday. You can get a flight out. You can do stuff.
And you can fly into Orlando, by the way, if you want to look up flights. You fly into Orlando.
No, we're going to get them the flight.
Well, that's whoever wins. But if you want to come in, we're not doing that. So
Right. They could look that up.
everybody's invited to come, but one winner will get to bring one.
Yeah,
other
all
person with
all
them.
expenses paid, everything, all that. They're going to have a lot of fun doing that. And they're going to enjoy this cruise because we're going to be like around the pool, having drinking party. I don't know what's going to go on. Jason's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Yeah, everybody. We're going to have a
Stay
blast.
away from Jason while we're on the cruise, though.
No, he'll be like in, maybe he'll be up near the stack, up on the fucking top deck. I don't know.
I'm gonna be floating around.
Well, no, I'm going to be floating around. That's for sure.
And you know what? I'm not even going to reveal just yet how you swim.
How I swim?
How you swim? Your bathing suit of choice.
Oh, you mean from Cancun?
I can see it from where I'm sitting.
From Cancun.
From Cancun.
Wow, that was a pretty wild party, man.
was.
You know, that was out there, man. That was a real.
was a
That
lot
was
of
my 60th birthday party.
Shish, you're 60?
I'll be 61 this year, fucker. That's what this is all for. That's what the cruise is for. My 61st birthday.
I thought you were 30.
Oh, I love you. Yeah, I wish I body.
And this is how I got a spot on the show. I kissed Daddy's ass.
Oh, that's good. So we're going to have a lot of fun on that cruise. I think it's going to be a great cruise. I think that we're doing something special for people. And you're going to, and again, you can email me at larry@realitycheckprogram.com or Larry even, I'm going to give a special email, larryfl2007@gmail.
Oh,
larryfl2007@gmail.
that's the personal email, baby.
Yeah, do you know how I came up with that email?
2007 is when you got out.
Right?
And you live in Florida.
My name, I live in Florida. I got out in 2007. And Gmail, I don't know who the fuck Gmail is.
Google.
Oh, Google. Yeah.
Google Mail.
Oh, yeah.
Gmail.
Gmail, yeah. I'm a Google guy. So, yeah, you can do me there. That I get personally, boom. And if you guys want to just email me, do anything you want there, that's great. We're going to have, I'm sure, guys like Stingy Lewis and
We're gonna get a whole lot of-
and Tony the gas station man. We got to get Garfield. We got to
That
get the
would be-
mailman.
That would be fucking
we gotta
awesome.
get the mailman.
We got enough time. We should mention it to him.
Oh, absolutely. He's a great guy, Jamaican guy. So we're gonna have a lot of fun on that cruise. So make sure put that down on your dates, October 7th to 10th. Stay tuned. We're gonna be talking about it every show because we're gonna be talking little bits about
We're
what
gonna
to do.
soon on the 100th show. This is the 94th episode, by the way. So in 6 shows from now, we will be announcing exactly what you have to do in order to be eligible.
Right.
Well, in order to get an entry.
Right.
As far as eligibility goes, for the cruise,
Anybody's eligible.
Right, well, 21 and over for the cruise and U.S. resident.
That's for the
with a
cruise.
valid passport. However, if you are not a U.S. resident and you're under 21 years old,
You're not shut out.
you could still get that MacBook, and I think that's an awesome gift.
Oh, I know you would. He's
Me, myself, I love that shit. I just bought one of those exact laptops for myself. So they're expensive, but they're worth it.
Why don't you bring that in here?
Because we have the other MacBook, and it works just fine.
He goes, we're giving out.
You know how
He
many
goes,
MacBooks
Benz
I have
goes,
right now?
We're giving out a MacBook better than our MacBook.
Which is true. Which is true, right? I mean, the MacBook, this is the MacBook from 2021, and we're going to be giving out the newest one. So, yeah, technically, the one that they're getting is better than the one we used to record.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, listen, I used to use the old computer. I still have it on it. You know, the program to put to, you know, we can do this. This isn't rocket science.
It really is not.
It isn't. But,
I want to ask you a question.
well, we're going to go. After that, I'm going to announce another thing coming up.
Oh, you got another announcement?
Yes, another
I'm
announcement.
unaware of this announcement.
We are very close to finalizing this office. Jason's helping,
/
Matt's
studio.
helping, studio. Obviously, that's the
Did
real.
Matt put this up? The neon sign?
No, Jason and I and my brother put it up.
Sheesh.
Oh, Matt said to me, he goes, did
that why it's
Benz
crooked?
tell me go fuck myself in the last show?
Well, listen carefully. I was defending myself first, and then I said, go fuck yourself because I knew you were gonna give me shit anyway.
Right. So, actually, you know, we're gonna have a little party. We're gonna do something here.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some tents out front. Maybe get a band or something. Maybe I'll have Garfield be a DJ.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
That
dope.
would be
And
awesome.
we'll put a bunch of
He's
tents.
he's a DJ by trade.
He's actually a DJ, yeah. So we're going to do something like that. And because it's coming so good, everybody who's walked into this office, studio, has said, wow. Everybody. I had John and Laura here the other night, Thursday night. We actually ate here, right here. And they go, holy shit.
You didn't play poker?
I did. We ate beforehand and we went down there.
Gotcha.
And they go, wow, this is, I mean, people just, they don't get it. I mean, until they understand, they see it. You know what I mean?
I heard your brother won.
He did win. He
And
did
Frank.
win poker. Frank and my brother. You know,
Split first place?
sure, that you know, you got, I'm not going to say this, but maybe someone should look into this. They're right next to the bank and the chips. I don't know.
No, you can't be throwing shit like that out there. You know better than that. You can't be throwing shit out there.
Oh, fucking Frank?
Guys, our friends do not fucking cheat at poker, ever. Now, golf is a different story.
Yeah. Well, Frank thinks a tree is a non-man-made object. He said that was planted. I can move it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It was planted.
Yeah.
Sure, Frank. Good one.
Yeah.
And then
200 years ago, but it was planted.
Frank's the only guy that what do you call that list that you guys all go on at the very end so you can calculate your handicaps?
The handicap system.
The handicap score, whatever it is.
System, yeah.
He's the only motherfucker I know who'll shoot an 84 and put an 89 in.
Oh, yeah, because he wants to keep his
He wants
handicap
the
up.
strokes, right? He wants to win. He wants to have a
See,
chance.
but that he doesn't realize that 1 or 2 strokes would mean shit with really anybody.
In his mind,
Oh, yeah.
it makes a difference.
Listen, if he thinks he's getting a little bit of an advantage, he's like the happiest fucker in the world. He'll lose 10 grand, but he'll be happy because he thought he had an advantage.
I know a couple of people who are listening to this and going like, fucking amen, brother. Fuck that guy.
No, they're not saying fuck the guy. They're saying exactly. I mean, you know, it's funny, you know, and I used to golf with them. And when I came to golf, and I golfed a lot in the early days, and we played golf as golf is supposed to be played. You don't roll them. You play them as they lie. You got to take
Real
the penalty
rules.
shot. Real
No
rules.
bullshit. Off the
Now, there's a
correct
couple of those
tees.
guys that do that, like Laz and certain people, and Chris, and certain guys
that
do.
play the real rules.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And then you get a Frank, and then you say, so what am I doing? He's almost putting it on a fucking tee in the fairway. I mean, listen, I loved it. You see him right behind the tree, then you see him take a beautiful swing, and you go, what happened? Well, I had to move it out because it was next to the tree. Well, it's called the fucking penalty, Frank. What'd you shoot in that hole? 4.
More like 8.
Yeah, double, absolutely. But you know what? They have fun. I don't even.
Most people play golf for the fun of it.
Absolutely.
It's not for the score.
No. Even I do it now.
But human nature, right? Human nature, you want to be good at what you do.
No question. But listen, golf is that thing you better be playing. I've been playing that shit for 40 years, 43 years or something.
More than I've been alive.
Yeah, and I love the game. But now I go smoke cigars, drink.
You're fucking good at golf too.
Yeah.
I hate it. I want to take it from you, but I can't. I just can't take it away from you.
I used to be good.
First time I played with you ever, you probably don't remember this. We just met. We used to play in the afternoons at that cow pasture in Melbourne. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We used to play there 9 holes, and we do that either before or after lunch. And that was the first time I ever played with Larry. And, you know, he's bullshitting, and we're all just kind of getting ready. And one of the guys sitting there is going like, just wait, this motherfucker can play. And I said, what? And you know who else was there? A guy that used to work for you, Eric, who's
he's a pro. Yeah. He wouldn't even give me strokes anymore, the prick.
Well, of course not. So he comes over, and I knew he was a pro, right? Because we talked about it before, and I said, well,
he's good. He's good.
I said, what do you think about Larry? And he goes like, that motherfucker is better than he looks. He's like, it's always like, you know, you're seeing him about to tee off, and you're like, this guy's gonna suck, and you were so good. And you were so good. I think you shot in the 70s that day.
Oh no, that course. I mean, I would shoot near par golf. I mean, it's so short. It was just there's no trouble for a guy like me who hits the ball straight.
That 18th hole is it's got a little bit of
distance. The water on this. It's a par 5,
right?
So I mean, it's really. I mean, Eric goes it.
It's a short par 5, but it's a par 5.
Short par 5. I've been on that in 2 back when I used to play good. Now I can't anymore. And I know it because my back. I've had surgeries and all this shit, and it does hurt. I could still actually hit a ball right now, even with fucking 15 vertebrae in my back fucked up, literally fused and stuff. I had a doctor once tell me, he goes, you won't be walking by the time you're 50.
Yeah, here you
Forget
go.
golf.
Here you go. Prove
Fuck
that motherfucker
him,
wrong.
man. You know, I'm not a believer. You know, I'm not a big believer in doctors in a big way.
I'm not a believer in prognoses in general.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, everybody's different. I mean, they got to give you their prognosis. I get all that. But I'm just one of these stubborn guys. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. I go through pain a lot. But listen, I have my drugs. Legal and illegal.
But, you know, it's worth mentioning that you completely cleared yourself cold turkey by yourself.
Absolutely. You know that, of oxycodone.
Oxycodone. And that might as well be heroin.
How about this? 180 milligrams a day.
Fucking crazy. Every time you say it,
100. You know, Frank didn't think I could do that.
I didn't think you could do
remember
that.
that? He said, no way you can do that. I did it myself. I weaned off him.
When you stopped taking them, we were all behind your back. And as soon as you'd be like, fucking Larry's still taking them. There's no way he stopped. But then you never had them on you. And I remember seeing you take them. And then then never again.
I don't have them. I don't even have them.
You used to eat them like they were fucking
Well, I used to
candy.
eat 6 30s a day.
I once took a 5 milligram.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to sleep.
Yeah, Frank used to say, if I took a 5, I'm done for the day. You know, it was just my body built up the tolerance. But I actually needed them.
Did you ever get high from them?
No.
In the
matter of
beginning?
fact, no.
That's how much you needed them.
Yeah, I need them bad. Actually, let me tell you something. Everybody wants to vilify oxycodone. They shouldn't, because they have a place for people, and they're needed. I needed them to survive for a long time. I needed them. There wasn't like...
People who say they're not necessary or that we could do away with them are people that have never been in a 10 out of 10 pain.
Real 10 out of 10.
On a consistent level.
Yeah, you know Joe used to fuck...
Every day you wake up and the pain starts at 10. Wake up if you ever slept. You wake up and the pain
Sleep in a
starts
chair.
at 10.
Yeah.
Listen, I've had moments in my life where I dealt with pain. I know.
Oh, I'm sure you have. Most people have.
But more so, I've seen people curl from pain. We have another friend, one of our guys, who's got this thing in his face.
Oh yeah.
And when he's in pain, you can see it. This is a tough fucking guy. Not a pussy by any means.
No.
Tough
absolutely.
guy, and he's basically in tears when he gets this pain. Well, I forget what it's called. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I know exactly what it is. I know
trigeminal,
whatever it is. And people don't get it. What really gets you in pain, and I've had it for so many years, is you become depressed. There's a total depression when you realize it's never getting better. Now, I have gotten better because I've medicated myself, and I have. Whatever drugs, whatever weed, or whatever I do, I've medicated myself. And everybody who knows me in drugs, I can do drugs and then not do drugs. It's just I have that way. Don't get me wrong, I like to do certain
Not
things.
anybody can do that. But
No, absolutely. And everybody's got to know themselves. But not everybody can.
Personality.
Not everybody can stop alcohol. And anybody who starts to talk to me about any drug and they support alcohol. Do I drink? Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's the question, right? You always ask people when they start saying, yeah, well, but do you drink?
Yes. I always ask them that.
Right.
I say, do you drink? Once they say yes, and they don't want to take... Now, if a guy come up to me and says, listen, all drugs should be off the shelves, everything, alcohol or aspirin or whatever the hell it is. Hey, I can't say anything. And that guy's what is...
He's got an opinion, but it's a weird opinion.
Weird opinion. But if you tell me, oh, no, alcohol's legal, it should be all right, but this isn't. Marijuana is so proven to be better than alcohol, obviously. So is other drugs. A lot of people don't know acid has been used by the military and the government, and they actually tested on people in Atlanta. There's a whole study of the inmates in Atlanta. They're doing drug testing, with LSD and psychotropics. And they did it with a military unit.
They're doing ayahuasca now legally here in the United States. And there's places where you can go do mushrooms legally. And ketamine clinics where you can go and get ketamine. And it's all...
Absolutely.
And all of it is so in the scope of medical.
Yeah. Again, all of this stuff was in the medical anyway. I mean, listen, cocaine was in Coca-Cola.
Right.
I mean, if you want to get, you got deep down. So what has happened...
What did they use it for, though? There was something... Coca-Cola was a medicine first.
I probably like,
codeine
and stuff
shit.
like that. Yeah. I don't know what it was. But all these drugs, listen, everything with drugs, and especially like the guy, you guys got to make sure you listen to what I'm going to say now. I have a special guest coming on this Friday. This Friday, I got Randy Lanier. Randy Lanier was the biggest pot smuggler in the world. Tons and tons and tons. And I don't mean 10, 20 tons. I mean hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tons
of marijuana.
165,000 pounds, which is 80 tons right there.
That's insane.
In a boat. And that was one load.
And all of it was just to support his race team.
Yeah, I mean, no, he lived hell of a life. Trust me.
But I'm saying he started it so he can listen. Race teams are fucking expensive. This guy was an Indy, and Indy is expensive as fuck.
Yeah,
Indy
one,
race. Yeah,
the biggest race in actually is an Indy, not NASCAR.
Well, the biggest race is actually F1, but yeah,
I think it's Indy now.
it's definitely F1.
F1
is
did you know
worldwide.
the biggest single day event in the world
Indy 500
is the Indy 500? 400,000 people. Did you remember the show? It was. I just watched his show. If anybody wants to watch it before he comes on my show,
But is
it's
it
a
bigger than
Netflix.
F1?
Yes, it is.
I don't think it is.
Well, that's what they say. The what?
Like the Monaco and all that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But just to let you know, he's going to come on the show. He's coming up here Friday, and he's going to be right in the studio with us, and we're going to go through He was in federal prison for 27 years. He had a life sentence, and he was pardoned. He got pardoned for nonviolent.
Who pardoned him?
President Obama.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he pardoned him.
I'll tell you what, man. That Obama did some good stuff.
Think about it. He
People
really
give
did.
him a lot of shit. He signed more of those than anybody else.
I think he did.
Because in his mind, if you weren't a threat to society, and if you weren't violent,
Nonviolent drug offenders.
nonviolent drug offender. And here's the thing: if you ask me, nonviolent drug offenses across all prisons all over the world, let them out tomorrow.
100%. But they come up with all these things why they can't do it. Probably they'll flood the systems and everything else.
Because it makes money, Larry. It makes money.
That's
dude.
what I was just going to get.
You know
to.
this. I don't need to tell you.
Listen, the prison system is. Listen, the government has gotten so big and out of reach and out of whack. When I did the Constitution, the government is really a simple document. There's only 7 articles to the Constitution. That's it. 7. Everyone thinks, oh, fucking, it's the book. 7 fucking articles I could read.
But all the states with their individual laws had signed into that agreement.
Of course they had to. If you become part of this union, you have to.
And they had the rights to make their own laws.
No. The states' rights are different. I'm talking about the federal laws that the federal government.
7 and that's it.
7 articles, and now you have amendments to the Constitution. You have 27 total. The first 10 is the Bill of Rights.
You may have said this on the video. Which one
No,
would
I
you
didn't
do
actually.
away with? No, the question. Would you do with any one of the rules or laws associated with the 7 articles?
Oh, no. Because the 7 articles are just the forming of the country. It's how Congress works, how the 3 branches of government, the judicial branch, the executive branch, and the legislative branch. So those 3 branches of government make up a great document. I mean, this should never be changed. And how to change the amendments. That was number Article 6 or whatever. So all of those articles are just so basic, and you can read them in 10
They're
minutes.
the 10 commandments of running a country.
Well, no, then you have the Bill of Rights. That's different. The Bill of Rights is your first 10 amendments to the Constitution, and then you have 14 later. But, when we talk about being perfect, nobody's perfect. Listen, why do we have slavery? Hello? That's not fucking right. I mean, that's fucking, you want to talk
There's
about...
no human rights associated with slavery. That's for sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about that if you want to talk about governments that are, fucked up and stuff. Fucking slavery. How about women fucking being treated as second-class citizens?
Not being able to vote until the 40s.
The 20s, actually. It was 20, somewhere in the 20s.
Where they let females vote?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not the majority of them didn't vote till the 60s.
Yeah. Oh, well, obviously, a lot of things happened in the 60s. And then you had, of course, black people and all the rights there. And then you had Jim Crow and all that kind of crap.
Thank God I wasn't born into a time where we were fucking hateful pieces of shit.
All it says is that, I mean, when I talked about that, it's really a good document. I love the country. I love the way they did it. And then the Bill of Rights. I implore everybody to know 5 or 6 of their Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments. You need to know your First Amendment right. You need to know it.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, freedom to protest, do everything. Then you need to know your Second Amendment.
Those
guns.
4 are the most important.
Well, not the first 4.
I'm just saying they're the most important in any society.
Well, listen, they made it the first one. that alone says it's the fucking most important.
Do you think we truly have freedom of speech in this country?
Yeah, I do to a degree.
Loosely, yeah.
Loosely, very loosely. Because, again, once you start infringing on somebody else's rights, that's not right either.
Then all of a sudden, your right to speak is becoming like fucking. I don't think people like those Nazis should be going around talking shit about Jews. I just don't.
No, I mean,
but they have the right to in this country.
There's a lot of things that I think could. But then you're talking about one group to another group, and you can't do that. If you want rights, you give them rights, good, bad, or indifference.
To everybody.
Absolutely. Now and again, prisoners too.
Here's the thing. I feel like prisoners have no fucking rights.
Oh, they don't.
And while you're incarcerated, you should have rights based on being a prisoner.
Absolutely.
And when you come out, you should have rights just on having spent your time.
You should have, you know why? If you don't have rights when you get out of prison, you are what they call being taxed without representation.
Taxation without representation.
And that is what we, the United States, seceded England for in the Tea Party. We were being taxed without representation up in England. And we said, fuck this. And they want to take our guns too. So my point is, why are we letting a person who does his time, does exactly what he's supposed to do, why doesn't he have his full rights? Why can't I go buy a gun? Why am I held from getting a grant or held certain things? That's bullshit.
Because those are laws or rules that were put forth to
keep the foot on the fucking neck of people.
Well, to potentially stop people from committing a crime, knowing that this would be what
that is like saying the death penalty was a deterrent. It's proven not to be a deterrent.
Well, we also don't put a whole lot. We don't fucking hang a whole lot of people anymore.
No, we actually never did hang a lot of people. As a matter of fact, back in the day, I did a whole thing.
I say
on the
hanging,
death penalty.
I mean death penalty.
No, matter of fact, we had abolished the death penalty for a long time, especially after the Salem, that was a bad thing.
The Salem witch trials,
the witch trials. But now I look at it, and I look at the amendments and the Bill of Rights. The first one, the second one, of course, the guns. Fourth one, illegal search and seizures, guys. Man, that's fucking. You better know your fucking rights when a cop. I told everybody on my on the video, never, ever, and I'm sure there's cops that listen to this, and they'll tell their own family, never let a cop who's on duty into your house. I'm not talking your neighbors, your buddy you're drinking with. I'm talking never, ever let a cop in your house, ever. He wants to come and talk to you. He's a nice guy. Great. I'll come out and talk to you. Don't let him in your house because they call that the plain sight doctrine. If he sees something in here, he could say, I saw this, and then he can go back to
He's a mandated reporter. Well, so he has to do or say something.
Well, again.
What's that?
He can take it back and get a warrant if he sees something he's suspicious about.
Exactly. Absolutely. Or he can actually arrest you.
Yeah.
They did it with Meth Head Mike, obviously.
Exactly.
So your Fourth Amendment is very important. Illegal search and seizure is it also has to do with your double jeopardy and stuff of that nature. Now, the Fifth Amendment is also, I take the Fifth. You have a right not to fucking incriminate yourself. Right. That's the double jeopardy, actually, Fifth. You have a right not to be held twice for the same crime. That's double jeopardy. Those are so important, those rights right there. Obviously, the Eighth Amendment is cruel and unusual punishment. Now, that's very definable. The Supreme Court said that putting a person who's 13 in prison for life is cruel and unusual. Well, I still think certain other things are cruel and unusual, what they do to people, and they get away with it, and they break their own fucking laws, their own rights, these wardens.
Unless, rules and laws are only laws until somebody stands up and points at it.
I was just going to say, I used to do, you remember when I was doing the law with the other guy, I have a cite book that has a lot of stuff on, I'd rather let 10 guilty men go free than one innocent man be incarcerated. And that's true. We need to respect the people who we this is not a group situation. Say, oh, we're all guilty because we'll all hang out together. No, we're not. No matter what happens. You're an individual. You should be held individually and everything else. So all of these rights that I implore that all cops should not have it just on their phone. They should have an index card. If I was a police chief, I would make every single police officer have an index card of every one of those rights and read it. And if I am a
Mm-hmm.
supervisor and I went up to him and he didn't have it, or if I asked him and he didn't know it, I would fucking.
Aren't these questions on tests they have to pass?
Absolutely, but you know what happens. You learn it for the start,
right,
and then you don't know it.
And then it doesn't matter. Plus, day to day on the job, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again every day. Somebody who does, what do you need?
Put him up.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
all I was going to say was, like, when I was going to be a cop, we had to carry the actual Miranda rights because you could fuck that up and then not say it right.
Yeah, but the Miranda rights are bullshit.
But I'm saying, like, as far as the index card.
Hold on. Let me explain something. I did talk to
you can get a case thrown out based on the Miranda.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, you can't. It's the biggest fallacy in the world. A cop does not have to read you your rights. Everybody calls me and they'll say, well, the cop didn't read me my rights. I ask him, first question is, did he ask you anything? No, he put me in the back of the car. If he does not ask you anything, he does not have to give you your rights.
Right.
He can't use anything that you say.
Yeah.
But everybody thinks, oh, if he doesn't give me my rights, and he read them wrong. No,
But if he didn't read it, they get to the station, they question the person. Anything he said in the questions
is usable.
Right. It's not usable if they didn't read it.
Right. If they didn't read it, first of all, they won't ask unless they're an idiot, obviously. But they don't have to read you your rights. That's the biggest. Criminals think that.
Scary.
Well, it's crazy because I hear people say, "Oh, Larry, I got arrested. He put me in the back. Never read me my rights." I said, "Did you say anything?" No. Well, but he should have read me my rights. No, he should. He don't give a fuck. He's putting you in a car.
He don't give a fuck. Exactly.
Well,
right.
he don't give a fuck.
No, that's true.
And there's no, your rights are only to protect you from saying something once you're arrested or under the custody, under the authority of the state.
I just like your idea of the card because then it's kind of like you have like a little cheat sheet, you know what I mean? Like of the statutes or whatever the case may be.
Well, I just think like obviously, I talk about law enforcement a lot. Most countries have a 3-year police academy. 3 years.
Ours is like 9 months.
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
It's the equivalent of a bachelor's degree.
I went to massage school longer.
In most countries.
Yes, absolutely, or more. Or more. Well, bachelors, you're right. Not associates.
Right.
6 months, you can't learn shit. They're cramming all this crap in their head. My thing is, listen, they really learn all their shit once they get to the department.
On the job training.
Sure. But they should have them in their pocket when they're not doing. And everyone says, well, they got on their phone. No. When you get on your phone, you're on Facebook, you're on a porn site, you're on wherever the fuck you're on. You know what? Have an index card.
I've had cops show me the law on a phone before.
Right. And I'm not saying you can't do that. Of course you can.
Right.
My point is they won't do it. They're not going to go in their car. But if I had them in their pocket, now I'm a supervisor, and I say, let me see your rights. What's the fifth?
Why didn't you say that to Al?
Who?
Al, the director of FOP for Florida.
I think I did. I think about rights. I did.
That's one thing that if you think could benefit, you have the ear of people who are very influential.
Oh, absolutely. And see, the rights, cops should know them because they have what these call these First Amendment auditors. I love them.
I love them and I hate them at the same time. It depends on which ones. There are good ones and bad ones.
Listen,
there are ones that literally just take a camera, put it in a cop's face and say, I'm not breaking any laws, go fuck yourself. Yeah. And then there's the ones that recite. Then that's just fucking.
But hold on. That's your right.
I know.
So my point is,
but just because he's a cop,
no,
just because he's a cop, let's go. Why don't you do that to a regular citizen walking down?
I'll tell you why. Because that regular citizen walking down the road doesn't have the authority to either incarcerate you or kill you under the color of law. I'm always harder on cops because they're the only person, not the courts, not anybody. They are on the streets in the action, and they have the authority to arrest you and or kill you under the color of law.
Right.
That's a hell of a responsibility.
Sure is.
So they should know what I also think cops should get paid more.
Agreed.
I'm a believer in that.
Yeah.
There
should also be actual training too, like as far as how to conduct yourself instead of just going to your gun or your taser first. You know what I mean?
But they do.
They get training, but it's not enough.
That's what I'm saying. They should get a little bit more. It would just help, muscle memory.
Well, I told that story about in the military. I was in the Coast Guard as a boat captain. We used to do drills every day. And we'd run down to that boat, and one guy's job was to take the lines off. The other guy's to start the engine. The other guy's to open up the pet guy. Mine was to get the thing, get everything ready, make sure everything's going. And we just practice that. Because if we fuck that up and we drop a line in the water and it fouls my prop, I can't go rescue somebody.
Right.
So we would practice that religiously. That stupid thing. You think, oh, I got it. No, until it's second nature, literally, you can't. Jason, you're in the military. They drill, because they want it to be second nature. Now, again, I'm not knocking the cops. I just think they should know. So when that asshole, like you said, does, and there's assholes everywhere.
I'm just saying there are people who do it correctly, because I've watched those videos on YouTube. There are people who do it correctly, in my opinion, and then there are people who do it just to get a rise out of the cop.
Well, they're testing them.
Fuck, man, I don't know.
Why not?
Because you be a fucking
maybe that will save somebody out there besides him. That this guy's thinking, wait, maybe this guy's I better know my rights. I'll bet.
So let me go stand on city property with the camera until a cop
city
comes. City
property is your property.
I understand. Until a cop comes over there and wrongfully asks you to leave, and then tell him to go fuck himself.
I see what you're saying, Benz. It's kind of like you're doing it just to do this,
Exactly.
just to be an
But
asshole.
that's okay,
But
Jason, because if you don't do that, then it never happens to the guy, and all of a sudden he's trampling on somebody's rights. You're actually training that guy. That asshole is actually doing us a favor.
if they're willing to learn.
If the cop, you're talking about the cop, but if the cop is not, and he's shown on a video not to want to train, then you know you got a bad cop.
I just think you have to.
Well, I know what you're saying, but I'm
engage people in a better way than, fuck you, there's nothing you can do to me.
100%. Now you're talking about civility. We're not talking about the law. We're talking about civility. When we talk about people who have rights, the right to be here, no matter what I say, I have the right to stand on this fucking property. Now you're telling me I don't. Go fuck yourself. Well, you could have said, no, you don't. Be nice at this. And then the guy goes, fuck you anyway.
If that's when he said go fuck yourself, that's one thing. It's another one to read his name badge and be like, what the fuck kind of name is that? Fuck you.
Well, that's what they need, because that shows that gives them a harder surface. That gives them a better. Listen, cops
Respect humans. Forget cops. Respect
now,
humans.
listen, I agree in the common sense totally. I wouldn't do that, but I think it's part of necessity sometimes to push a person to their breaking limit. Why do certain organizations do the fucking worst thing they could do you in the Coast Guard or the military?
But that, to me, that's different because we were putting ourselves into a situation. If you go out and stand at the courthouse and film, then the cop says, hey, what are you doing? Fuck you. That, to me, that's a little different in the sense of
Why?
You're just doing
Why?
it to
Well,
be
why does that cop have more rights than anybody else?
What do you mean more rights?
To say something that's wrong. Let's say the cop is saying something wrong. Get out of here. You don't belong here.
Because he's not there. He's not there because he wants to be there. He's there because this is his fucking job.
Again,
paid
then
to
he
be
should,
there.
and then he should know the law.
Oh, totally. Like you
My
said,
point is,
associate's
no
degree.
matter what happens, if that cop tells you something that's not to be is wrong, and you have the right to be there, he's telling you no, and I'm going to arrest you and all this. How is it going to be when it's not that situation and you get
And there isn't a camera.
So-
They take advantage, no doubt.
And my
now, listen, I say this, but I'll be the first one to admit, I've had interactions with cops where I was just a fucking pure dickhead the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? I've seen cops take advantage. I've had my girlfriend thrown about 6 feet because she wouldn't sit on the sidewalk. So I've had things happen to me where I saw cops being shitty. My point is, I'm not making it my job. I don't make money off of YouTube by starting a video camera and poking the fucking police.
Some do.
Now here's the thing. I'm okay with teaching them and showing them and educating the cops, essentially, right? First Amendment people. They want to educate the cops on what they can and cannot do. They want to tell them. They want to use that as an example on the internet. I'm all about it.
But let me ask you
Treat
a
them
question.
like human beings.
Hold on. Let me go one step better. How about the cop does the right thing with the asshole?
They do.
Now
Sometimes
you know
rare.
you got a cop that knows the law and knows what he does. He walks away and says, you know what? You're right. You're
He's
like
educated.
They do
educated, and I know, and he walks away. And I always say to myself, that's the kind of cops we need. We don't need the guy who's the bully that I said to move. Who the fuck are you to tell me to fuck?
And that's how it always starts too.
Right. Well, look, listen, I teach the police academy. People don't know that in St. Louis. And the first thing I ask people, you know why I tell people how to stop a person? When they come up to a car, what's their normal procedure? License and registration. You know what you did?
You know why
you
I stopped?
rolled
Yeah.
it.
You know why I stopped?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the cop introduces himself. He says, my name is blah, blah, blah from the blah, 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 PD. That's how they do it. Listen, ain't nobody listening or in this room have gotten pulled over more than me. Straight up.
I had more interactions with cops than you.
I don't think so. Larry, I don't. Well, here's the thing. You mean like on a personal way? Or being pulled over in a car?
Oh, not a car. I mean,
I've been pulled over in the car just in the last year 10 times.
God
Okay.
damn.
Now, here's the problem. The cops, when I teach it at the academy, I say they should walk up to that car and say, excuse me, sir, are you okay? What do you mean, am I okay? You rolled that stop sign. I just want to make sure you're not tired
Be
or something.
sympathetic almost.
Wait, not tired. I just want to make sure, because here's what happens. If you roll a stop sign, a guy's not looking, you're going to be in an accident. I don't want you to be I'm not going to give you a ticket. Here's a warning. Mm-hmm. And then that guy, there's no way the guy driving can come back and say,
He was a dick.
yeah, or even anyway. Joe Fermini, that happened to. That's why we talk about it all the time.
Joe was respectful, I'm sure.
Joe was down in Melbourne, and a cop pulled up behind him over on Melbourne Avenue. He was going around Melbourne. Him and another couple, nice car, you know Joe. And a guy put the lights on, gets up, walks up to Joe. Joe used to tell the story all over. Again, talk about how bad publicity they get because of fucking asshole.
This is an older man, too, not a kid.
Not a kid. And he said, you know what you did? You rolled it. Give me your license, arrested. Joe looked at him like, who the fuck are you? I'm a 75-year-old man, 80-year-old man, whatever it was. And this fucking 22, listen, when a 22-year-old kid comes off to me and talking to me like that, I was like, who the fuck are you talking
Dismiss
about?
him immediately.
Who are you fucking talking? My point is, if you come and de-escalate the situation by saying, excuse me, sir, are you okay? And he goes,
I know, but you're asking for all cops universally to have a similar personality. Impossible.
absolutely.
Impossible.
Well, I can see where
It's
you're
not a
going with it.
personality. It could be their rules.
When you walk into a Wawa and you check out, right? Is the lady always asking you how your day was and all that?
Oh,
Some do, some don't.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about a whole different animal.
Hold on a second. I know because they work under the color of the law and da da da.
No, not even that. In the police, when they are trained in their freaking academy, because I trained them.
Right.
Their first thing is they're taught is to take control of a situation. That's what they're taught. You know that. That's their way. You got to get hold. But their meaning in a volatile situation, you got to take control. Not with fucking my mother and Joe Fermini. You know, you have to be at least common sense wise enough.
Some people don't respect elderly.
you got to have situational awareness. You don't want to talk to an 80-year-old lady like, hey, give me your fucking license. But if you come up to somebody like my age, I'm 32.
But they shouldn't do it to you either.
I
you could
disagree
still-
with that.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it to you that.
If
you
you
should
know
still
how to
come
be
up
not,
and talk to them nice, like, hey, man, look, this is a situation. Da, 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 da. You could be cool about it, defuse a situation before it gets too toxic.
Do you know what Al said, which impressed me more than anything when we was here that time? They hire people who know how to talk to people.
he did say that.
Communications.
He said people who
Communication
can-
skills is the most important part. There's no weapon on your belt, no weapon that you get from the academy except your mouth, and how you talk to people is the most important thing. Obviously, when I
in
taught them,
general, I don't care what your job is, whether you're a kid, you're an old man, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. So I don't compare a Starbucks worker to a police officer.
I do. I do.
Well, that Starbucks worker
They're
didn't
both
get
going
6
to
months
They're both
training,
going
did
to
he?
work. They're both going to
Did
work.
that Starbucks guy get 6 months training?
If he worked there for 6 months, then yes.
No, that's it. I said when they first go on a job, did he get 6 months training?
Yes.
Oh, stop it! Now you're just fucking me.
I don't know if they got 6 months
Okay,
training. My
everybody who's
point is-
listening, Ben's being a dick.
No, I just don't think that it's realistic to ask all cops to have the same personality.
It's
And
not a personality.
They have to be
Professionalism.
intimidating, dude. They have to be intimidating.
No,
They have to be. What do you think?
In every
the uniforms
situation,
the uniforms.
Wait a minute. In
they're
every
just-
situation, they have to be intimidating.
No. But when they pull you,
But now
over-
you're asking them to split their personality.
if they're coming to ask you to leave the property, they can't come over there and be like, "Hey, can you please leave?"
Why not?
Because they are authority. They have to act like an authority.
If they have the authority,
If they're over there, then they are under the pretense of law. They have
that doesn't mean they have the authority. If there's a cop that comes on this property right now, he has no fucking
authority
right
whatsoever.
to do nothing in
You're right.
authority to do anything.
Unless he sees you breaking the law.
Exactly.
Right.
So if this cop fucking
Until
comes on
then,
my
he
land,
should be nice to you.
huh?
Until he sees you breaking the law, he should be super nice.
Cordial.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cordial. Professional.
If he pulled you over for doing 70 and a 60, should he be cordial?
Yes.
He did, 'cause
Absolutely.
It's a civil matter.
Absolutely.
It's not like you were going 100.
It's not even 100.
All right,
I
even
don't
if you're
care
going
what you are.
150.
Hold on. I don't care what you're doing. Even every cop, it will tell you, even the police chiefs that I talk to, Moyer and everybody here, listen, when you could treat the bad as well as you could treat, then you're really doing it right.
You want to be tactically and
shouldn't-
technically proficient.
You don't want to say, oh, at this mile an hour, he's a dick. And I don't give
Well,
a
there is
fuck.
such thing as criminal speeding.
Absolutely.
30 over.
Again, even a criminal shouldn't be treated. A criminal shouldn't be thrown on the floor and has his face fucking pushed in the concrete.
Agreed.
So if you're a criminal,
I'm
there's
just
no
talking
reason.
about the way they talk. I'm not talking about what physically needs
Again,
to happen.
there's
or
no
not.
reason to see that. What happens in policing is they escalate the situation, and they're the ones who should be the professionals that de-escalate. Because you, Benz or Larry or Jason, We had a bad day. I'm not saying they don't, but they're getting paid to not have that bad, to leave their bad day at home in the locker when they put their gun and their badge on. They're asked to leave that bullshit home. I might have just lost a father or a kid. Something happened.
Something bad happened.
Something happened.
And now I should be treated like the scumbag because this guy just didn't like it.
No,
he don't know what I went through.
His personality will remain his personality, is my point.
Absolutely.
If his personality is like license and registration, please, and not how are you, please slow down.
Did you hear what Al said? 10% retention rate because they got rid of him. Because they don't have the personality to be a police officer, a good police officer.
But do you think all the cops that are under him, all those cops that he's talking about, you think they all show up at I saw you rolling the stop sign, are you okay?
I train that, and I hope they do the training.
I guarantee you not a single fucking cop. Well, I shouldn't say not a single. In some small town podunk, 2 cops, guy's having a great day every day because he's got no fucking worries. That guy may be coming at you like this. But a guy who just came back from a call where he had to pull a dead body out of something, these guys are
human. But
human.
You know what? Go back to the station. Don't be pulling people over.
Yeah, but you go back to the station, you're put on leave,
Benz,
you're not being
I don't
paid,
care what it
bills.
Benz, I don't care what it is. There's no excuse to treat the public the wrong way.
So
period.
Okay.
I didn't say the wrong way. I said the way
in an unprofessional way. To me, that's an unprofessional way.
Right, unprofessional way because you're one of those people who believes the cops work for you.
I mean, you got to be a mentally tight person.
I pay your salary.
Well,
sorry, bro.
he pays his own salary too. Everybody pays.
That's my point. Those people, when you start a conversation like that, you've already said to the cop, "Fuck you." Now let's go.
No. You just hear my say. No cop should have the right, and I don't care what situation is he in, to treat a person bad. And you know what? Body cameras are changing that. I'll tell you why. Because they're getting disciplined more. They had a big authority to do that. Right now, they have body cameras. If I get stopped and I go in there and this cop treats me bad, whatever it is, like you just said, and I go to that chief and I say, Chief, I shouldn't be treated like this. They're going to pull that body camera and they're going to discipline that guy.
But if he gave you all the information, just not in a very nice and calm way, but he gave you all the information you needed, he didn't omit anything. He didn't
well,
say
now
anything
you're taking semantics.
No, it's not semantics. What you're saying when somebody, I'm just going to go back. You're saying if I got pulled over for rolling a stop sign as a cop, you would come to the car.
That's how I would do it.
And the first thing, and that's how they should do it, is what you said.
Yeah,
and they should say,
they would
is everything okay? And
they would de-escalate a lot of situations.
Right now, they say, my name is Benz, and I'm from the local PD, and do you know why I'm stopping you?
That I hate right there.
Do you know why I'm stopping? Well, because
they want you to admit it.
Yeah, they want you to
incriminate yourself.
I always say, no.
What do you mean? What did I do? You tell me what I did. You stop me.
That's usually my answer, too. You're about to tell me, aren't you? I'm sure you'll tell me. That's my answer.
Yeah, well.
And you know what? They hate that answer, but it's an answer.
Absolutely.
You can get the same point across kind of being a nice guy in a sense, or professional.
And then he'll ask you, trust me, I've been there. Then he'll ask you, are you in a hurry somewhere? Where are you going? And I don't have to tell him where I'm going. Now it becomes your job to whether or not you want to have a conversation with the guy or you want to be a dickhead.
But we're looking at it from our perspective.
But you know by law, you don't even have to. You can open your window this much and
crack it.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm not saying what to do. Listen, I do certain things. When I get stopped by a cop, the first thing I do,
pull out your badge.
Used to. No, I take my iPhone, I put it upside down, and I put it on record. I want to hear every word that's in there. I even have a camera. You know that. I have a camera that's in the car. I haven't had.
And records both sides.
Both sides, everything. And now I have that. Now, it's only to protect myself if something happens or something. Yeah. They even have apps and stuff, and you know this, Benz, that you can actually go live.
As soon as you get pulled over.
As soon as you put it, clicks, and then it goes to a thing, and it's recorded. So they can take your phone. They can't do anything. It is somewhere else right now because, obviously, they come up with that because it's happened. My point is,
plenty of shitty cops.
I don't hold cops in any special, like an angel fucking position. I respect them. I think they're putting their lives on the line for a lot less money than I would. I mean, obviously.
Do they have authority?
Of course they have authority.
Do they have to remain authoritative throughout the conversation?
No.
Why?
Why do they?
Because if I'm asking you to do something, or
hold on, you said throughout the conversation. Now, if I'm not, let's say he gives me a legal something, whatever it is. Now I say no, I say fuck you or something like that. That's a whole different situation. But there's no reason for him to escalate and be authoritative, especially, and you know it, you're 36. Wait till you get even a little older. You got a 22-year-old punk coming off at you like he's a fucking god. That pisses me the fuck off.
I don't care how old he is.
Well,
if he treats me like human, I treat him back.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're saying. And that's why I say the best thing they can do is do the right thing by talking to them the right way, by
diffusing the situation with your mouth rather than getting
Exactly.
angry or all right, fine. You know what? I'll bite to that. But I will tell you this. It's
why are you biting it? You're making it sound like you're seceding to something that they shouldn't do.
Well, no, I'm seceding. All right, so let me define it. I'm seceding to the point. I'm saying you guys are right. You're both bringing in a good point, and I agree with you guys now. But I will say,
Why changing your mind? Boy, you've come a long fucking way since you're
I changed my mind. I will say this though. I don't think it's possible to have all cops as a whole, or even a section, even 25% of them, to all act the same.
Oh, of course not.
These are different people. They speak differently.
Hold on, but
not all cops are very, very smart. If they were very, very smart, they would be working with their head and not with their body. Essentially, is what they're doing. You know. So I think what you have to keep into perspective here, and I think this is important, is the fact that the police themselves are just people too, and they're going to react the way they act at home when they're nice and when they're not.
There is my problem with policing, because you cannot have a cop come on the job pissed that he just beat his wife or his wife just fucking smacked him around and come on to the job with an attitude and then fuck with citizens. Right. Again, because, and I will say it again, because they have the color of law behind them. And it's not like a clerk at fucking Walmart or anywhere else has an attitude. Go fuck yourself. I'm talking about a cop that can pull a gun and put you on the floor and put you in cuffs and take you to jail and or shoot you if something happens, right, and still not get arrested like you or I would.
Essentially, before you get put in the back of that car, you are helpless if he decides to be...
Right, and I don't like that end of it. I think more cops... See, cops to me, like, I know this is going to sound crazy. You guys wouldn't remember. Mayberry, Andy Griffin. What a fucking cop.
I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, I know Andy Griffin, and
I know who he is, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Mayberry RFD, Mayberry, the town, and Andy Griffin and Barney Fife and all that. They were cops. He didn't even have a gun, number one. But I get it. You gotta have a gun. But my point is, he treated people with right. He talked to them. They come out and they talk. It's
a respect thing.
It's a total both ways. Obviously, if you had cops that didn't have, it pisses me off all the time. I watch a cop ride by a guy who's pulled over on the side. He's trying to fix a flat. His hood's up, and they ride right by. That fucking drives
It should
me.
be traffic control.
No, it drives me.
No, that's
nuts.
fucked up. I agree. That's fucked up. They are public servants, and here's the thing: you want to control traffic, you got to control traffic when it's on the side of the road too.
Yeah.
It's not. It's you're doing the right thing by stopping.
And I've seen
somebody.
a million cop cars just stop behind a guy and just put their lights on. Just to let people know that
that's
there's somebody stopped.
That's okay. I'll take that.
And that's what I mean by traffic control. At least you know that there's a car here because you see the lights at half mile.
But I've seen, how many have I seen go right by a guy?
Yeah.
That gets me fucking mad.
I was in 2008. I was driving a twin turbo 350Z, and I was going like 100. I was going like 110 down 95. I got pulled over. I took it onto an exit, and the cop asked me to turn off my car because it was really loud. It's hard to talk over. So I turned off my car. We did the whole thing. He gave me a ticket, a big fucking ticket, mind you, and it was like 3 of them because I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, bop, baby, boop. I had tints that you couldn't see inside the car, all the bullshit. He gave me a bunch of tickets. Then after, all right, have a good day, I go to start my car. Nothing. Man, nothing. Car won't start. And they wait for you to pull out first. So I'm sitting there trying to start my car. He comes back and he goes, well, you can't start the car? I said, no. You made me turn it the fuck off. Now I can't turn it on. I want to tell you something. He stayed there with me with his lights on. He called a fucking tow truck. He called a city tow truck. He told the tow truck driver not to charge me and told him to drive me to the house or a shop, wherever I wanted, within 10 miles or something like that.
That was nice.
That's good.
That's what he did. He did that for me after giving me about $600 worth of tickets.
Listen, I've got my share tickets. I never was convicted of a ticket since I've been out of prison. 15 years. I never got a ticket.
Wow.
And I
currently have 9 points on my license.
I've got stopped 20 times.
Wow.
Every ticket I got, I won at court. Number one. Second ones, they'll either, listen, again, cops are good. I never treat them bad. curse them out. And that's
We
just not
need them.
my-
They're doing work necessary.
Listen, I agree. But, I had a conversation with cops at Chiefs of Police, and we don't believe cops should even be able to pull you over for like a single light or a out.
Fuck, I agree too. Send me a ticket in the mail.
Absolutely. They can do it with cameras.
Got your plate.
They can do it. They can just boom. They can send you a
If
warning.
they do it with the toll booth, they can do it with a red
They can
light.
do it
That
anything.
takes a lot of time, I imagine, out of their day just to pull you over for a headlight.
Well, no. Here's what happens.
That's what
They
they get
do
paid
that,
for.
and they'll tell you they do that because they want to look in your car. They want to stop. They want to see what's going on.
Exactly.
It's an excuse, and many of them do that. Frank told stories about him with the car with his son and everything else. And my thing is, it causes more problems because you got a kid who's 22 years old, whatever. He's got a joint in the ashtray, especially before it was legal and all. He's got a joint in his ashtray. He's thinking,
But still
and he
he knows what
runs.
to drive in.
But he runs. Now he kills somebody. He's going. Now you got a fleeing. You got a whole thing. Obviously, cops have learned that enough. They know who to call. They got the license plate. They know. And now if you're doing 150 down Malabar Road, you're a danger. Obviously, you got to stop. But there's no reason because you can go get him unless he's, again, a murderer, a fucking wanted guy, something of that
Something
nature.
bad.
Yeah. Other than that, send him a ticket in the mail. Chiefs of police and I would sit around and talk about that, and they go, that's the best thing we can do because we have most of our incidents.
Two problems with that.
Are from cops going up to a car that they don't know what's going on.
Right. And that's how bad stuff
That's
happens.
The lady here, Barbara Pill.
But there's two
remember?
things that you got to remember. One, they want to look in your car. We just said that. They want to see what's going on. They want to run your license to see if you are, convicted of anything.
But they can do that. They can do that.
No. My point is, and here's the biggest one. They want you to incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
They want you to say something that is going to be
Enough for them to search that car, number one.
search the car. In their mind, they're stopping me from committing another crime in the future.
I get that thing, but you know what? You look at that, and what cops and people don't know, again, talk about your rights, is if they keep you detained more than I think the wording in the law is more than the standard amount of time to give you a ticket, you're being detained. And if you're being detained illegally, you will sue them and you will win. You will win. Matter of fact,
Did I tell you what happened
I know
to
a
me?
person. Did you know a cop is not allowed to pull your record, NCIC check record?
Why?
Oh, really?
If you're a cop over in Palm Bay, matter of fact, a lot of there's a $5,000 automatic thing. If I go for an Freedom of Information Act, and some cops pulled Larry Lawton's name for whatever reason, a friend said, "Hey man, who's that guy?" Whatever it is, they pull it illegal. That's $5,000 in your pocket. I know a guy was doing it and making money, literally making money, and until they started to realize you can't do that. That's not their personal computer to look up people and see what they earn and stuff like that. Can't do that. A lot of people don't know that.
You need a warrant.
Obviously. Well, unless it's...
I've had cops ask me to unlock my phone. They wanted to look in my phone.
you had a cop actually ask you to...
You don't remember my story when I got pulled over with the Porsche when I first got it, with the Civic? I told you this story here. I'll remind you real quick. I got pulled over at about 7:30 in the morning on US 1. They pulled me over. The plate...
Oh, yeah.
You remember this.
Now I do.
Yeah, and they asked me to unlock my phone so they can go and look for the bill of sale that I was trying to show them. They thought I stole my car because the dealership never transferred the plates. It had nothing to do with me. I did nothing wrong. I was there for about 2.5 hours. I had handcuffs. I was put on the ground, and they told me, "Where'd you steal this car?" and all this shit. Wow. And I didn't sue. You know why? Because we live in a small town, bro. I have to see these guys every day. Now they're going to make it a point to pull me over every day. And like you said, they got the authority.
Well,
So now I'm pissing them off.
I'm not a believer in that either because then once you give them a little bit and then they can do more and the next person gets done.
I was a
that person
dickhead
gets
the whole
done.
time, by the way.
Well, I know you are. I remember the story.
They're trying to tell me that I stole my own fucking car.
Well, you did not have a title. You did not have the right plate on the car. I mean,
It wasn't me.
Yeah, not due to him though.
And
no,
nobody said
yes,
so.
but how do you know? You
They-
want to know? Truthfully, it is to him because you're supposed to check your plate. Technically, you're supposed to check your
Well,
plate.
maybe that's where they would have went. But I'll tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
They
what you're saying.
ransacked my car. They had me sitting on the side of the highway, a busy highway, with handcuffs on. Thank God I don't have a reputation to maintain. They had me sitting with handcuffs on the
Yes,
side.
you do. It actually elevated.
It elevated, right. Now I'm better now. So, no, really. And you know what? When they figured out that they were all wrong and blah, 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 and everything is kosher, you know what they did? They all got in their cars. Nobody said anything to me. They took the handcuffs off. There was like 8 cop cars there.
They didn't say,
I
sorry,
asked for a
sir.
supervisor. Nothing. They didn't say a word to me.
They went and got lunch.
They went and got my shit off the hood of one of their cars, which they had all my shit on there. They put it on my car, on the roof of my car. They left my doors and all the shit fucking, because, you know, they ripped my car apart. They left the fucking doors open and the shit on the fucking car, and they all got in their cars without saying a word to me and just drove off.
See that? You know, I hate that. To me, is such an abuse of power.
That's bad policing.
I mean, the least you could do is say, listen, all right, we figured it out. You're free to go, bobbity boop.
But it's not. See, again, detaining somebody. I'm a very big believer. We don't do that. Again, freedoms. Do we really have them? You know, when you.
That's a big question.
Absolutely.
I don't think we do.
No. I'm a part of that. Absolutely.
Freedom, you know, with a giant grain of salt.
If you had your rights in order and did everything the right way, rights-wise, they would start questioning you. You know, the first thing you do, obviously, is you ask for a supervisor.
I did.
Okay.
It took them an hour to get there. The problem is when you ask for a supervisor, your detention time goes double.
Yeah.
First of all, again, if you see that they're doing more than you give me a ticket or not? Are you giving me a ticket for whatever I did? Are you giving me a ticket? Because if you're not going to give me a ticket, I'm leaving. Because unless I'm being detained. Now, you tell them that. If they say you are being detained, now it's a different thing. They're on a clock. They can't just detain anybody they want because whenever.
Gotta have a reason.
Gotta have a reason. And they should. You're a U.S. citizen with rights. Just because the guy's got that badge and the hat and whatever the fuck he wears, he does not have the fucking right to fucking stamp on your rights. It's not. That's what the Constitution's all about. That's what the fucking Bill of Rights are about. That's why they're there. That's not so they can just trample him anytime they want and say, fuck him. You know, he's a fucking hoodlum from fucking Pennsylvania. You know, can't do that.
They couldn't. There's no way for them to know this.
Well,
unless they went into my records, which are not allowed to.
Well, who? They can run your record.
I mean, they did, but there's no way for them to know I'm from Pennsylvania.
They'll know fucking everything right away. You kidding me? When I get pulled over, you know what they did the first time when I got out of jail? I got pulled out. They pulled me out. They put me in handcuffs. Nothing.
Well, you came up as a felon.
A violent felon. Just did the fucking shit, which is wrong again.
It is wrong because
you paid your debt to society.
I 100% agree.
I never been to prison, but it's like you're not a bad guy.
But they call that officer safety.
We only know Larry today. Saying he's not a bad guy is bullshit.
30 years ago.
It's bullshit. I love you, bro. I think you're a great person, and you turned into a great active member of society. And not only that, you're improving society with the work that you do. But, bro, you were a bad fucking guy.
I'm the first to admit that.
You were a bad guy. You had short temper. You beat the fuck out of people. You fucked with inmates. You fucked with what do you got? You call them cops, or what are they? Guards.
Cops,
you know what I mean?
You're right. You know
what I mean? The fact of the matter is that you are, or, you know, as far as like, you're a good guy, to say to Larry, it's tough. You're a good guy today.
Well, you got to judge people how you know them. You can't judge everybody.
Well, I didn't know you 30 years ago.
And I agree, and you're right. I don't know what Jason did yesterday or the years before. And
but I already know he's
a
piece of shit.
You know what I did yesterday?
Yeah, I do.
You know what I did?
I do. I actually do. He didn't call me the fuck, but
I text you. I didn't call.
Yeah, he should have said, "Come on over."
You saw the pictures. That's good enough.
But my point is, we have to know our rights. So if you know your rights, it means something. And cops realize that more and more in today's world with the body cams and everything, that if a person knows their rights,
they're being held accountable because of these people that we started the conversation
Exactly.
about.
And you know what's happening now? They're starting to say, okay, let me make sure I'm doing this by the book and everything else, and not fucking trample on Larry's rights. Because 10, 15 years ago, when none of this shit is, there no body cameras, no. You know how many shit was going on? Searching cars, breaking lights. Oh, I love this. Your license plate lights out. I thought I'd stop you.
Right.
And you go back and it's not out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's so many things. Now, again, it's not all cops. It's not everybody else. There's good and bad and everything. And I do believe that in big time. Especially, there's approximately 1 million cops in the United States. That's what approximately 980,000, whatever.
God, for 300 million people.
Yeah, 1 million cops. So at 1 million cops, you're going to have your bad fucking cops, period.
Any group of people will have bad seeds.
But as I say, Benz, who hires a lot of people. Do you know who the bad people are in your company?
Yes.
Absolutely. You don't think the cops know who the bad people are?
I think they do.
Absolutely. Here's the problem, and I told them, when they start policing themselves, they're going to get more respect from the government, from the people.
Right.
Because right now, it's, hey, you're good. You're good. You're with me. You're good. Now, don't get me wrong. If they're friends of mine, I want them to let me
They
go.
do have internal affairs, though. They do have a system that's supposed to police the police.
Again, you can't have an internal affairs when you're doing your own.
Problem
when you
is
go out drinking with the guy at night.
Yeah, most internal affairs are ex-cops from the same district.
No, the ex not. They are cops. They just go to that same division. They just get transferred to that division.
Right.
Like for
they
us,
have a
I
different
think
office.
They went from detective, and then they had the option after detective to go to internal.
Oh, whatever.
How that works?
Yeah,
That's how it works.
yeah. They're all active duty. Everything. So now the guy's at the barbecue with you and your wife. You know, it's your kid. He might be your godfather.
He's not gonna let you hurt.
Yeah,
He's not gonna kill you with a problem at work. Hey, man, fix it.
Yeah, you know, and listen, I come
system.
from the mob life. You think I'm gonna let any of my guys fucking
Yeah.
go? It didn't matter. I'm not saying what I did was right.
Nobody runs a tighter shift than the mob, bro.
Right. I know. Yeah, because when you fuck up, there's no internal affairs. It's
Right.
called cemetery.
Execution.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Well,
They skip everything in between. They go allegation, execution.
Oh, trust me, I've seen some crazy shit, and I used to
bet.
say, "Damn, man, I'm lucky." I used to keep a low profile when I was around certain people.
Oh yeah.
I had.
I
to.
bet.
Oh, I was this mouse, like, you know, to a degree.
Right.
And then I had a lot of respect because I shut my mouth because I did the right thing and I listened.
Right.
A lot. Now, again, cops to me are good people. Cops are just people, but they need to know those amendments, the Bill of Rights. They need to know it.
It's an education thing.
They need to know it, and anybody who questions them on
Internalize it. I think they all know it. I think they need to internalize it.
yes, believe in it
Right.
and do it.
Right.
And until they do that, I don't mind that these people are assholes. Yeah, they're an asshole, and I know they're an asshole. But you know what? It's teaching the cop that there are assholes that I still got to do the right thing.
The problem is, as a listener or as a viewer, somebody who would benefit from this information, being educated as well, right? I should learn the right way of doing it, not the wrong way of doing it. I shouldn't just go there and call him a motherfucker because I can. It's just my opinion.
Be nice, and
They
then
lost me with those videos. And then I watched other videos of a guy who was being very respectful, but citing the law to the T. I mean,
And they still fucked with him.
you know what? They still fucked with him, and they might have gotten out of hand at times, but this guy kept his composure. And you know what it does from a viewer standpoint? Me watching this, I'm like, these cops are fucking assholes.
Right.
But not the other way around, because when I was watching the other guy, the guy that starts off with fuck you to the cops, I'm like, yeah, well, you know, they're assholes, but they're being treated
So
like
let me
shit.
ask you a question. If a cop comes up to your window and a guy rolls it down 2 inches and gives him his license, is the guy an asshole?
No, he's exercising his law.
Is exercising his
His
rights.
rights. I'm
Exactly right. So, you know, it's a very hard thing when rights are broke, when the Bill of Rights
Most cops
are
will tell you, no,
violated.
you have to open the window.
And you don't. When your Bill of Rights are broken, no matter who does them and no matter how the voice goes or whatever, it's wrong. The Bill of Rights trump everything. If you want to really call what we did, so if we can believe that, it doesn't matter. Yes, I look at him and say, yeah, he's just an asshole, but he's showing the cop that even an asshole. Because I've watched cops fucking deal with an asshole in a great way. I've watched a cop come up and say to the other cop, no, he's allowed to. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I got to talk to you over here. And they go, have a good day, sir. Leave him standing there. Now the guy fucking is done. His video's done. Nobody fucking... And they showed, wow, the cop knew his rights. He let the stupid guy...
Looks
jerk
good on the PD.
Absolutely. But the guy that's got a fucking, chest bump him, the guy's got to have the bigger dick.
Ego.
Ego.
And a
bigger
lot of
dick.
cops suffer from ego, man. That is one thing I'll agree with you on. They are all egotistical in a sense. They feel like they have that authority.
Well, they're taught that too. Yeah. They are taught that in the academy.
They're also taught how to be intimidating, which you think is not something they should.
Yeah, but it's tough.
Their uniforms are designed to look
I
intimidating.
hear you, but it's tough. You're not going to intimidate me. No cop's going to intimidate. I don't give a
intimidate
fuck
the average human being, not Larry Lawton. Intimidating
masses.
Larry Lawton would take a little bit more than a fucking guy in a SWAT uniform.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what they are. They're all dressed like fucking SWAT today. Have you
know?
noticed that?
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Take away the face.
Well, that and I'm not a believer in that.
Me neither.
When I grew up, the cops
You've
would-
traveled the world.
Dude, yeah.
When I'm in Europe, you see the cops over there. They don't even have guns on them.
Right.
They don't have guns. They got those sticks still, old school, like the one you have over here. They got one of those, a billy club, and then they have a taser, mace. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's and people walk all over them. They do. But I'll tell you what, though, if it's a situation where somebody has done a crime, then a specific unit comes out. Until then, the people that are on the street,
How is Israel cops?
they don't get the respect they get here.
Really?
I'll tell you, that's the truth. In Israel, the cops.
But is
you
it
go out of
respect
the
or is it fear?
You know how when you get
Is
pulled
it
over,
respect or is it fear?
They do not fear the cops in Israel.
Well, again, I don't think you should fear the cops.
So yeah, they also don't get respect. I'll tell you something. When you get pulled over in Israel, you know how the cop comes to the window here? It's the opposite. You go to the cop. Or you come out of the car and you talk about it.
Used to be like that in the United States.
It's not like that anymore. Well, it's to protect the cops now, right?
I know, but it used to be like that. You know, you used to wait and get out of the car, and then now it's stay in the car. You go
guns
nuts.
out. If you come out of the car, guns out.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're scared.
Yeah.
It's a scary fucking job. At the end of the day, you got a target on your back.
No, and I agree, it's a tougher job, and I also know that obviously, you know, again, going back to the stopping. Don't stop somebody. You got cameras, you got everything, unless you have to, and you go with more than one. Do the right thing.
You said something that made me think just now. You said, is it respect or is it fear? And I'm still thinking about it. And you're right. You know what it is? They don't fear him. It has nothing to do with respect. I misspoke. It's just that they don't fear him. It's because they can plead their case to them. Because they can talk on a human level. Right. I can come out of the car and you be like, speeding, what are you talking about? I wasn't speeding, da, da, da. You can have a conversation about it.
Right.
Like,
without getting arrested.
Without getting arrested. And the guy's going to say, well, I'm writing you a ticket anyway. Well, you're a fucking dickhead. Well, I'm writing you a ticket anyway. And if you're going to drive off, that ticket's going to show up in the mail and it's going to be more expensive because you drove off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's right.
And that's how they do it. And, you know, I'm thinking about it now.
I don't think we should ever fear the cops. We should never fear another citizen and people, especially to protect us and stuff. You know,
right? If they're meant to protect us, why should we fear them? I'm not afraid of any military guy. I shouldn't be afraid of a cop.
No,
there's a good point there.
And once you start fearing them, then it's like, holy shit.
I respect military, but I'm scared of cops. That's a fucking problem.
That is a problem. That's you though, because you've dealt enough with cops that maybe that you had.
You know what? I have so many interactions with them. I remember the first time a cop pulled me over, I was shaking. I was 16 years old. I was visibly shaking.
See, our cops, we knew them from the beat. And they used to come and like
just walk up and down the street.
But they used to come and beat us and take our money when we were playing cards.
Right. Or take your weed. That was the specialty in my neighborhood.
We were before weed.
They would break your bowl and take your weed. And what do you think they were doing with that weed?
Of course, giving it to their friend.
100%.
Well, the best was
smoking it between
talk
themselves.
about good cops though. I remember being inebriated and a cop pull you over, knows who you are, get in the car. Literally park that, it's parked already. Take the keys, go home, put you in the house with your mother and say, if I see him out, I'm going to arrest him.
I told you my story.
Now you got a beating at home.
Oh, yeah. And trust me, it's much worse what your mom's going to do to you than what
the cop is going to do. So my point is they were more community, in my mind, more community minded. They knew the people around. We knew
they cared about the community because they knew the families.
And they lived there.
Exactly. I told you the story of what happened to me when I was drunk and I fell asleep at the stop sign. I was drinking absinthe with my friends and like 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, all right, I'm going home. It was just one road, but a bunch of stop signs in between his house and my house. And I'm driving home. And then the next thing I know is I wake up and a cop is banging on my window. And I'm asleep at the stop sign with my foot on the brake. Yeah.
Oh.
And I pull down my window and he goes like, what's going on? Like everything. He basically started with, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just driving home, a little tired, da da da. Obviously drunk though. I mean, I was drinking absinthe. There's no way to hide it. I was fucked. And I pointed at my house, which was like half a block away. And I was like, I live right there. He goes like, you really live right there? I said, yeah. He didn't even ask me for my license. He said, all right, can you make it over there without hitting anything?
Oh no, I've had good cops here. Take care of me the right way.
This is what happened. I thought he was just gonna watch me go and leave. This is what he did. You want to talk about community police, right? I pulled over to the house. I parked by the house. I scraped the rim. I get out of the car and I'm thinking, and then fucking I look behind me. He's standing right there. He wants to knock on the door with me. First of all, he wanted to make sure this was really my house. I wasn't pulling one.
Right.
Smart. And then another one was he wanted to speak to my dad. I was a kid, obviously, So I knocked on the door, which he wouldn't let me open it. He wanted to knock, and he did the police knock,
Yeah.
My dad got up, and you know what? There's nothing that cop could have done to me that was worse than what my dad did. Took my fucking keys away.
Yeah, that's it.
And there you go. You just got your license, now get fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that was a good cop.
Did you ever see the video about a cop, like a big wig and like assistant chief or a lieutenant, big a higher up cop
gets pulled over?
No, he was sleeping drunk at a light, and they come and they surrounded the car. They didn't know who he was, and they were talking about this. They let him go. It was on the video.
While he was drunk?
Yeah, let him go.
They let him drive off drunk.
Yeah.
I've seen that with judges online.
That is fucked up.
And it's on a video.
I've seen him pull
Give
over
him a ride
judge.
home, but don't let him go.
I've seen him pull over judge like on Facebook or YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Oh, I've seen
They
those
pull-
videos.
Yeah, and it's like, you know who the fuck I am? It's like,
Yeah.
like,
You know who
does
the
it matter?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, dude, most of the time they go like, "Oh yeah, sorry, sir.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
judge."
of course. You know,
And
it's
then they
like,
get in their car and fucking mosey.
but you know, we're just that's again. I think we beat it enough. I think we're done. I think Benz. I think we're gonna wrap it up. I want to talk about one quick thing. I want everybody to know. Check it out, Gangster Redemption.
Gangster Redemption.
Ma-
The
make
book. We
sure
just
they
got
do.
some new ones, so orders.
Yep, I got them in. The cigars, baby. September 1st. Benz, you and I have to sit down and do one show on nothing but cigars.
Yes.
We're going to do a podcast, and we're going to do everything about it. We're going to show them how to smoke it. And
We're gonna
light
do a
it
video
and-
too, so it's gonna be
Absolutely. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff on cigars. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And you could educate people, obviously.
Sure.
And you've educated me enough. A lot. Probably a lot more to learn. and that's okay. I'm not here to
Doesn't
worry.
matter how much you know and who you are. There's always something you can
Oh,
learn.
of course. I tell you.
Shit, yeah.
Listen, the minute you stop learning, you're dead. And I tell
Agreed.
that in everything.
I agree.
But so I want everybody to check it out. Please remember about our giveaway for episode 10. So check that out. Cruise or a Mac 2022 Mac Pro. What?
MacBook Air.
There you go. See, I knew.
The M2 chip, the newest one.
I
You can
think.
choose one or the other. Obviously, we want you to go on the cruise because we want to party with you.
Yeah,
Whoever wins.
absolutely. We're going to be partying, having a great time. So make sure you stay tuned to what we're going to do. Jason, thanks for coming in today. You guys going to do the after hour show, or is that what
Yeah,
you're
we're
going
gonna
to
do
do?
an after show.
All right, I'm getting out of here, you guys. So have a great day. Well, go pee. Nobody's stopping you from peeing.
Why are you telling us this?
You gotta go pee. What is this, class?
I'm sober. This is weird for me.
Yeah. But is he?
We'll light one up in a second here, buddy.
Oh boy, this is where the after hour show comes in. All right, Benz. Hey, everybody. Really, anything to report for you guys?
Nothing, man. If you're not on Discord, get on Discord. If you're not on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. Tell us how you feel about the show. Throw us ideas. We love it.
Yeah, that Benz. It's
At
at
that
that Benz
Benz.
and at Real Larry Lawton. And listen, mate. Any suggestions? Do them. Have a great day, everybody. Please stay safe, make good choices, and we'll see you Friday.